game underway here. Beautiful. We are on. Hey guys, how you going? So down BKRsport. We are live at Sri Lanka. We'll be taking on England in the Super 8. We are at the big time part of the tournament where the big teams are here. Obviously my team, not here, because they're not a big team at the moment. But outside of that, we've got some great cricket action coming up. Unfortunately, yesterday we did have the New Zealand taking on Pakistan game. That was abandoned without a ball bowl, which is very impactful here for both these two teams in England and Sri Lanka, because that is the same group as they are in. They both get 1 point, which means they really need to play as hard as they damn well possibly can against England and Sri Lanka when they do play them later on in the week. But that was, you couldn't do anything about it. The issue is that this may have a delay as well. I think we're going to get underway. There is a chance of the DLS method being used. With that being said, though, there is no rain currently. It is just really, really cloudy, but there is predicted to be maybe a little bit of rain that comes throughout the game. So hopefully that is not the case. Touch wood, we get a full game underway here. That would be absolutely pristine. We just want to watch some cricket, you know, in the prime time. But unfortunately, you can't do anything about the weather. Now, the two teams today, England, Sri Lanka. Obviously, guys, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. Sri Lanka won the toss, and they elected to bowl. This is at Pallekele International Cricket Stadium. So, bowling first, they do fancy themselves in for a bit of a chase. If we go and have a look at the games for Sri Lanka in this World Cup so far compared to England in regards to them opening. So England cricket, Sri Lanka cricket. So firstly, in regards to Sri Lanka, they did chase down Australia. They chased out a 181 from the Aussies. They got 184 for 2 with 12 balls left and won by 8 wickets. A great result for them there. They did, however, lose to Zimbabwe, which people weren't really expecting, but Zimbabwe have been really good in this tournament, haven't lost a game. Zimbabwe got 182 for 4. They chased down a 178 score and did it with 3 balls left there. So great result for them. But again, that was when Sri Lanka were bowling second. So when they chased Aussies, they did it well. When they bowled second and Zimbabwe were chasing, they didn't hold out. When they played Oman, this is a bit of a whatever game to kind of think about. But with that being said, they did bat first and they took a 225 runner, right? So they do love to get a bit of a bat first as well. But again, that was against Oman, so it's a bit of a wash-away game in regards to the thought process. And then when they played Ireland, they had to bat first as well, and they got 163. They definitely can bat, but when they have had their one game of chasing so far, it was a win by 12 balls left by 8 wickets against the Aussies, right? However, if you go back to the T20 series against England that was just beforehand, in the first game of the 3, now they lost all 3 to England, who obviously they're playing tonight. The first game, Sri Lanka set out a target of 133. Now, this was by the DLS method. England won by 11 runs. It was actually still super close throughout the game. It's just Sri Lanka couldn't get over the line. In the second game, it was England chasing again for 189. They got 173, but that was by DLS method. 2 balls left. They won by 6 wickets there, England. Very close game there overall. The third game, Sri Lanka were chasing them down, and they had a pretty easy target, a really easy target of 128 to get. Unfortunately, they all got out for 116 there, Sri Lanka, so that wasn't a great performance whatsoever. They should have definitely won that game. We were live streaming that one, but they couldn't get over in 2 against Italy. Now, Italy actually did really well there, and they were chasing it down strongly, but they did get all out for 178. The game against the Scottish, now that was a very interesting one because Scotland set out a target of 152, which wasn't monumental by any means. However, England did chase it down for the 155. They won by 5 wickets with just the 10 balls left there. But that also was a bit of a difficult chase there for England. That was a difficult chase for England considering the score, which is quite wild. Then you go to the game against the West Indies, where the West Indies set a target of 196 and England got all out for 166. So you wouldn't even have minded them chasing, to be fair, because they've had a little bit of a mare in regards to chasing. But when they went up against Nepal, they scored 184, and Nepal got all the way to 180, but they did lose on the very last ball there. They just needed it. Well, they needed a 6 to win the game. but instead obviously could not get that one done there. So it's interesting in regards to the comparison of how these two teams come into it based off of the selection of choosing to bowl first and bat second from Sri Lanka. Now, England's team today, Phil Salt, Joss Butler, the wicketkeeper, Jacob Bethel, Tom Benton, Harry Brook, who's the captain, Sam Curran, Will Jacks, Liam Dawson, Jamie Overton, Jofra Archer, and Adil Rashid. I like the fact that they're keeping some pace in here, more so with Jamie Overton and Jofra Archer, but Overton can be quite expensive as well. Will Jacks is an unbelievable bowler in this tournament so far. He has been my favourite player from England in this T20 World Cup. He just knows how to pick up those wickets. Against Italy, he picked up just the one wicket there. I think he picked up 4 wickets against Scotland, if I'm not mistaken, or it might have been the previous game. Against Scotland, Will Jacks actually didn't even bowl. He wasn't even there against Scotland. Must have been the game before that I'm thinking. Against, it was Nepal that he had a really, really bopping game. Yeah, that's right. And he got the player of the match in that one. Yeah, he got just the one wicket there, but he limited them 8.5. He was really good, and the batting was fantastic. And then the West Indies, I feel like maybe he picked up a couple wickets here. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm talking about overall at the moment. Will Jacks, yeah, he didn't actually pick a wicket there. That's actually surprising. I've felt that Will Jacks has been one of the better in the tournament, but maybe not. Maybe I'm just really highly emphasising that first off game. Maybe I'm just highly emphasising that game against Nepal where I thought he was really, really positive. I thought he was really good in that third game. Oh, that's what I'm thinking about. The third game against Sri Lanka. That's right. Didn't he pick up a bunch there? Didn't he pick up a bunch? Yeah, he picked up 3 wickets in that game. That's right. Yeah, he did. That's the game, and he kept him to an economy of 3.5 on his bowling. So that's where I'm really focusing on there. But overall, England will fancy themselves. Sri Lanka have been 50-50. They didn't look unbelievable against Ireland, but they got the job done there. They looked really good against the Aussies in the batting department. The Australian bowling was just absolutely putrid, which is what we saw throughout this whole tournament. And the bowling for Sri Lanka was okay. They're obviously missing their big-time guy, Hasaranga, and they had another injury in that Australian game as well. But we'll see how they do get on today here against an England team that do fancy themselves a bat, but they're also a bit loosey-goosey with that bat. Now, Sri Lanka, their opener is Pathum Nissanka, who went for 100 against the Aussies. Kamil Mashara, Kusal Mendes, who was the wicketkeeper. Pavan Ratnayake, Kamindu Mendes, Dasun Shanaka, who is the captain. Dunith Walalaje, Dushan Dushmantha Chamira, Mahish Thikshana, and Dilshan Marushanka. That is the lineup for the Sri Lankans today. I think they're going to fancy themselves considering they are here in Sri Lanka. They're not going to want to embarrass themselves, and with that draw last night, it does allow both of these teams an opportunity to think that they can actually top this group. That draw does really hurt both those teams there, because New Zealand would have fancied themselves, and so would have Pakistan. They would have been looking for that 2 points. And also, it is a little bit of a negative that both of them do have that point now compared to the 0. However, I just feel like England are really going to chance their arm here, and they're probably... I feel like England probably do sneak it, but I would love to see the Sri Lankans get up. I really would. Not for any hate watch against England or anything like that, just because it's so good to see these teams that have been struggling in recent years across the cricketing formats, Sri Lanka being one of them, West Indies being another one of them, even Zimbabwe, but Zimbabwe don't get the respect that they deserve most of the time. They don't get to play a lot of the big teams overall. They're usually kind of pillaging teams that are below them or on their same ranking area, but they don't get to play up to their opposition as much. And, we've seen them really play up in this tournament so far. So I'm really looking forward to Zimbabwe actually playing tomorrow. I think Zimbabwe play tomorrow against the West Indies. Zimbabwe cricket. Yeah, they play the West Indies tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that one. But obviously, I want to see these underdog teams, do well. I want to see these underdog teams have a bit of a crack, and Sri Lanka are one of the underdog teams, and they are at home here. So hopefully they can fire up, and we can have a good game here, and it's not raining. That's the main thing, and let's get it going. Stitches, we'll get through the weather. The match can be curtailed, but will be completed. Yeah, the match will be completed. The only issue is that we might be looking at a DLS method at some point, yeah. I was going to say upset, but it's not really too huge of an upset. No, I wouldn't say it's too massive an upset, but it would be really nice to see. It'd be really cool to see for sure. Olivia says, I think I'm a Manchester City fan now. I actually really enjoyed it. Yeah, because Manchester City, the greatest team that ever existed. Manchester City might be the greatest team that has ever walked the planet, and they are going to win the league. And Shauno is nervous. Shauno's scared as an Arsenal fan. He's terrified right now. You know, you wouldn't even want to know what Man United fans think. No way. Gee whiz. Ben says, damn it, the cloudy rain weather would suit England, delay or not. Andrea says, Olivia, heads up on the World Club Challenge result. Your lads nearly did another comeback. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be too disappointed in regards to a World Club Challenge. Desmo says, Sri Lanka win. Well, hopefully, Daz. Let's see it. Fire up, you cats. Night Eyes getting around it. Night Eyes getting around it. And now I have to sit on a plane for 24 hours. Yeah, that's pretty much my life, Olivia. That is pretty much just my life. I basically just live on planes, to be completely honest with you. Stream died? Has the stream died? Is there something wrong with the stream? I'm not too sure. I saw in the comments. Seppin says, I reckon Sri Lanka win well. Sean says, Man City, you get around him. Exactly right. Yeah, Olivia's gone to a game. She went to the game, Man City vs Newcastle last night. She was there, mate. She was there. Can you guys tell me how many things I'm holding up, just so that I know that our stream is still working smoothly and is rocking and rolling here? Because the comment from Lagan is making me feel like... 3. Okay, so the stream is working smoothly. Did it ever cut out, or is Lagan just off his rocker? Maybe Lagan is just off his rocker. That's a high potential. Something that we do see quite often. Very often. Well, it's nice and sunny at the moment, at the very least. There's plenty of clouds around, but at least it's nice and sunny at the moment. I had to refresh it before, but it's good now. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I have no idea, because I'm not on a VPN. I'm not even chancing the arm. I'm not even chancing the arm here at all today. I'm literally just watching it on a streaming service that I shouldn't be, but at the end of the day, I don't want the stream to cough up too much. I love that on the day I'm leaving, it's nice and sunny. No, it's never sunny, Olivia. That's just AI. That is just AI. But England, they will be batting first, because Sri Lanka did decide they wanted to have a bowl. Give me what you think England need to get as a bare minimum to make this game, for them to fancy themselves for the win. What do you think England need to achieve here at Palakelly? And I think it's because some people's messages won't go through. Just need to refresh it. I think, the messages have been a little bit of a problem. For some reason, YouTube has been keeping them, has been hiding a few comments recently without me doing anything or moderators doing anything. Seb says, good to see Olivia confirm we do get sun. No, Olivia's seeing AI, mate. She's seeing AI. But also, Seb, she's now a Man City fan, so how much she backing up? Lagan says 220. 220, that's a lot of runs, man. Sri Lanka will probably still give themselves a solid crack around that 200. 220 is England win. England win at 220. But yeah, 180 plus is what you would be expecting here for England. That's what you'd admin be expecting. Dew could be a factor. England will have a stronger and main bowling attack compared to what Sri Lanka faced from Australia. Yeah, and obviously Sri Lanka did lose to Zimbabwe, so are they looking to bounce back? Or I know Sri Lanka would fancy a 164. They'd like that. Yeah, 164 here at Palakelly. What have been the games so far? I'm actually going to ask chat to you, what games of the T20 World Cup so far have been at Palakelly? Because I want to see what teams opened up with. So Sri Lanka versus Oman, Australia versus Sri Lanka. So Australia versus Sri Lanka, it was 180. Odd Australia got. Ireland versus Zimbabwe. Yeah, forget the Oman games though. It's only been the Australia versus. It's only been the Australian group, Sri Lanka group that's been there. So hold on. Let me go and get what the opening scores were. What was the opening runs in each game? I think Sri Lanka will take care of business. Well, we'll see, man. I doubt it, but I'd like to see it. I'd really like to see it. All right, so Sri Lanka batting first. No, I mean opening innings runs from team who bat first, not the openers, not the two actual just specific openers. All right, they're out in the field. Obviously, guys, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. Sri Lanka versus Oman. Sri Lanka batted first, scored 225 for 5 and 20 overs. Australia versus Sri Lanka. Australia batted first, scored 181 all out in 20 overs. Australia versus Oman. Oman batted first, scored 104 all out and 16.2 overs. Yeah, but that's whatever. Ireland, Zimbabwe, the match was abandoned with without a ball bowled due to rain. So there has been some up and downs, but at the end of the day, Sri Lanka did get that 225 and Australia did get that 181. So you can clearly see that it is a batting pitch. You just don't take the Oman into factor. Yeah, there's no do here, mate. This is a day game. All right, here we go. First bowl coming up, and that is going to be a single for Phil Salt. Madhushanka is going to be the one bowling. Let me just get this scorecard up so that you can see the batters for England and what they are on. Phil Salt will get off the mark, though, with a nice little single. There we go. Manchester City was nuts yesterday. Big protest at the city. I just watched from my hotel window. What's the big protest? Oh, I'm assuming I know what the big protest is about, to be completely honest with you. So, Madhushanka giving up that one run from that first bowl. 190, 200 par here. I think more so 180. I think 190, 200 par is quite wild, but I'd go, surely it's more of a 180. Again, that 225 is an outlier against Oman. Oman was so bad in this tournament, man. They were so bad. So I feel like that's an outlier. I think that 181 for Australia is definitely more on point. That'll be a dot ball for Joss Buttler. I think that 181 for Australia is probably more so what I'd be looking towards. Yeah, 180 maybe par in a day game. So 0.2 overs gone. Really, I don't think these openers have been unbelievable this World Cup, have they? It's more so been like Jacob Bethel and Harry Brook and whatnot. He's kind of been pulling them through for the most part, I think. Next bowl here from Madhushanka. And that will be another dot ball. Good bowling here. Only give up the one run through the first three balls. Salt has been very underwhelming. Yeah, he hasn't been great here in this tournament. Has he actually had a big game so far? England cricket. Has he had a big game in this tournament? I don't know if he has. Against Italy. Against Italy, he got 28. It's like, okay, that's at least something at the very least. Next bowl here from Madhushanka. And that is going to be a single for Joss Buttler. So he'll get off the mark after 4 balls. Yes, against Italy, he got the 28. Against Scotland, it was more the Tom Banton show. He got out for 2, did Phil Salt. Against the West Indies, he got out for 30. So his peak is 30 right now. And then against Nepal, I'm pretty certain he got out for a duck, didn't he? No, he got out for 1 off of 2 balls. So, yeah, definitely been a disappointing tournament for Phil Salt so far. Butler knows how much salt should be used. Yeah, look, I don't know about that, man. These guys have been super underwhelming in this tournament at the moment. They've been super underwhelming in this tournament so far. Next bowl from Madhushanka. That will be another single. Still a very good over here from Madhushanka. Still a very good over. Ian says, Butler is washed and Salt is far too hit and miss. Had to play as Duckett is the backup. You have to play as Duckett as the backup. Yeah, you can't have Ben Duckett, man. We do have a fan account of Ben Duckett that is on this channel. I'm sure that it'll pop up at some point today, but yeah, you can't be putting Ben Duckett in, so of course they're going to be playing. So Butler on 1 for 3. 3-0 for England at the moment. 0.5. Next bowl. Oh, geez, that was a wonky one to end up just being a single. I wonder where Jacko is. Was talking a lot about Australia earlier. He'll be there or thereabouts, man. He'll be around. I tell you what, though, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow where there's no streams during the day. I am so tired right now, man. And I know I've got to do the India-South Africa game after this. I'm so tired. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. There just been that one stream of the West Indies taking on Zimbabwe. And there's one stream on Tuesday and one stream on Wednesday. I think there's 2 games maybe on Thursday or something like that, though. What happened to Johnny Bairstow? He got injured, and then I just don't think he's come back. When did he stop getting picked in T20 Internationals? Well, he got injured a little bit ago. That's why he didn't actually. Another big reason why he wasn't selected for the Ashes, even though they probably would have still gone with Jamie Smith regardless. So Dunith Wadalaje, he'll be up for a bowl. Only 4 runs off the first over. You definitely take that. Only the 4 runs off of the first over. Next bolt. And that'll be a dot ball. Very good start here. Very good start in the power play. Do you think IPL will turn cricket into basketball where NBA money kills internationals? What? Do I think IPL will turn cricket into basketball where NBA money... Oh, yes, so you're saying the IPL money kills internationals? No, because I don't ultimately think... I don't think so. At the end of the day, Indians are very proud of India and they all will celebrate India. I would say internationals is always still going to be the peak of the game, but the IPL is, like your NBA where the best players will go there. But no, I don't think that it kills it. Doesn't says NBA has always had the money. Yeah, I don't think that NBA money killed internationals either. Like it's just that America was always really the key place there. I wouldn't necessarily say that NBA money killed internationals. I understand what you're trying to allude to, though. That's up in the air. That's over the top, and that is a 6. That is a 6 from Phil Salt. That is a 6. Besto is over the hill now, too. Only scores 1 and 8, but like Butler, great career. Well, I still believe that Johnny Bairstow should have been in the Ashes squad because I just think that he's got that experience in Australia of getting hundreds. He knows how to do it. Smith made his name in T20. They tried to force him into the test side. Yeah. I said it was a big miss, them not having Johnny Bairstow. But that's a big shot there. Massive shot. 11 for nothing. And that will be a single. Johnny's last game was 2024 T20 World Cup in T20. He's got a duck in that one. So 1.4 overs down. Still been a good start. As long as they keep him under that 20, they'll be happy with the first 2. It's only been that one big shot so far. Next ball, and that will be a single. So 13 for nothing through 1.5. Nine runs off of the over so far. Yeah, top order for... If you can get through Nasanka early, man... Like, England just win the game if they get through Nasanka early, to be honest with you. Wow, that was a little edge there, but that will be a dot ball. And, look, 9 runs off the over. You're not complaining with 13 after 2. James Cole's the next one to watch out for. Brilliant all-rounder. Yeah, Jamie Smith, Look, he wasn't your worst player. He wasn't the worst player for England in that Ashes. But I still would have fancied... I know as an Australian, I would have been a lot more nervous going up against Johnny Bairstow than I would have been going up against Jamie Smith. Because Jamie didn't really do much at all. And I just think that England got too cocky in regards to their team. And were happy to chance the arm a bit more with their, obviously, Bazball-style cricket. And that's why they went away from a guy like Johnny Bairstow, who isn't in the greatest form and did have some injuries around and whatnot. But I would have been more nervous seeing Johnny Bairstow's name there compared, especially considering they did need someone to be able to sit in a lot of those games, and no one did besides Ben Stokes. That'll be a single here. Samata Shankar with his... Oh, no, that'll be a 4. No? Oh, he stopped it. That should be 2 runs. Just the 2. As the tribe is pure gold, he has that heart of playing on slow pitches with the composure. 15 for nothing. Come on, Tottenham tonight, but get around him. Smith says, will cricket be more like football where club is number 1 but internationals are still important? Well, I kind of already answered this question for you just now. No, the international is still number 1. International will always be number 1. Indians will still tell you that they care more about India winning than they do care about their IPL team. Obviously, they love their IPL team, but no. Cricket is still... Internationals is always the peak of the game. It won't be changed. There'll be a dot ball here. It was criminal how many English thought it was an easy choice rating Jamie more than Carey when Carey has played so many crucial knocks and tests. That was never even a conversation. She says international always. Yeah, no, it's not even close. Like T20 IPL, Indians will always care about India winning over their IPL team. Carey, Aussie, best keeper bat. How he wasn't in the T20 squad is laughable. Yeah, I don't know why he wasn't there too. I really, he definitely is the kind of guy that could still play T20. Swing and a miss. Definitely a guy that I would have loved to have seen there. So many players should have been in that T20 squad, man. So many players. It was just poor selection all round by George Bailey and just horrible coaching as well from Andrew McDonald. It was just an absolute shit show. It was a shit show, man. There's no way in hell I'd be supporting one of my 6 BBL teams over Australia. Dude, no one in Australia cares about BBL. And 99.999% of Australians wouldn't be able to name you one single IPL team. This has been a great start here for the Sri Lankans. This has been a great start. 2.3 overs in, 15 for nothing. If they can get a wicket, it would really encapsulate it all. Dot ball, great bowl. Fantastic bowl. They don't look comfortable here, Phil Salt and Josh Butler. Yeah, sure, Salt got that 6, but they don't overall look too comfortable right now. Aussies don't even care about their BBL teams too much now. Take it from me, I was a Sixers fan who wasn't bothered watching the final in the end because I prioritised other things. That's pretty much everyone, man. No one's losing sleep over the BBL. Smith says there's not too many major sports where international trumps clubs. Cricket's unique in that way. Well, rugby union is international trumps clubs by a long way. That's even more significant. Union trumps clubs. Then, oh my gosh, another amazing bowl. It will be a dot ball. Jeez, he could have bowled him there. One more ball left here in the over. He's only given up 6 runs through 1.5 here, Madhushankar. They are dead set. What are they at, like 5? Just over 5 runs and over at the moment? Shark rate's real slow. Runs per over is real slow as we currently speak. Yeah, rugby union would be that, and then cricket would also be internationals mean more than club, but also NRL. The reason why is because Australia is just so dominant, and we have the league, and it just never was able to grow because we've had the monopoly when it comes to. But internationals are growing on a significant level. With that being said, yeah, I don't think it goes over, say, Origin. Another dot ball, man. Another dot ball. They'll get a single out of it. Regardless, 16 runs through 3 overs. 14 runs less than what they would have wanted. This is the power play, folks. This is a great start for Sri Lanka. Just came back from the charity match not too long ago. Lucky enough to see GI. Now I get to watch BKR before bed. What a day. What a day, Aspects. Was it a good game? I hear that Goanna's won in the last couple of seconds. I hear the Goannas won last couple of moments. Why do people feel? Why do you think people fell out of BBL because it was such a hit till 2018, 2019? Maybe more matches in that period and less internationals recruited. The issue that the BBL faces is that it's on during our summer series. So you miss out on guys like Scotty Boland. You miss out on Steve Smith for the Sixers for the most part. You miss out on Alex Carey. You don't see Travis Head for the Adelaide Strikers. You don't see Labuschagne for the Brisbane Heat or Matty Renshaw or all these kind of guys. You know what I'm getting at here. So that's LB. That's LB. That's LB. That's LB. That's LB. Josh Butler's gone on 7. Josh Butler is gone on 7, and it's 16 for 1 through 3.1. What a start for the Sri Lankans. What a start. Will they review it? I don't think you review this one, Josh. I don't think you review this one. I think you're gone. I think you're gone. They don't review it, and he is off and packing. Josh Butler is out. LBW. Gone. Gone. Yeah, he's absolute middle stump. I don't even know why you needed to think about that one. That is hitting middle stump for every single second of eternity. Every single second of eternity. So that wicket that I was saying, they just needed that wicket to encapsulate this start. Well, they got it. They got it here. And it's 16 for 1. Jacob Bethel comes in. Tracy scored 2 and going to score to win it. Goanna scored to win with about 2 minutes to go overall. Really good game. Is it Goanna that's... No, it's the Mark Hughes Foundation that won every year before this, right? Is this the first year that they've lost, or is it the other way around? So 3.1 overs down. Run rate is 5.05. Wicket comes up, and Jacob Bethel will come on. Nichols says good bowling. This has been fantastic bowling so far, man. Madhushankar has only given up like 9 runs through 2 overs. Yeah, I'm convinced playing against and alongside me was the peak of Jared Haynes' career. Oh, that's right, Daz. Who did you play for? Sorry, I forgot you were in that game today. So, Aspects, if you didn't know, Daz, mate, was actually playing in that game today. Oh, yeah, look, that is as middle stump as you're ever going to get, man. They're showing the playthrough of the Mark Hughes Foundation. Well, Daz, mate, listen. You weren't on a winning side, but at least you are a true Titans fan at heart, so you're undefeated this preseason. So I think I saw you. Well, Aspects, if you watched the game, you would have seen him because he was literally playing. Statistics 192.5 was too much odds for English total at the start. Well, that's why I was trying to bump down comments saying that the par should be 190-200. I think that 180 here is probably more so par, but right now they're looking like they're a bit away from that. That's going to be a single here for Jacob Bethel. He'll get off the mark, 17 for 1 through 3.2. Yeah, well, no shit, you would have seen me. Yeah, exactly right. Daz, you're actually a Titans fan, you're not a Doggies fan. Now, Daz is, Titans fan. He's just, we didn't want it to be too biased here on the chat and on the channel, so that's why he claims to be a Dogs fan. But no, realistically, mate, he is a massive Gold Coast Titans fan through and through. He'll tell you now he's a Dogs fan, but, unfortunately, he's just trying to make it a more fair and equal chat. Maybe the guy that had Daz on the back of his jersey. No, I don't believe it. So that'll be a dot ball, man. 17 for 1 through 3.3. Some dude had Daz on the back of his jersey. My bad. Yeah, that'd probably be Daz, mate. That'd probably Daz, mate. Next bowl will be a single for Phil Salt. He'll be on 10 from 7. So 18 for 1. With Butler gone, there is no use of Salt now. He should be going soon too. You are just using this joke into oblivion, aren't you? You just really love this Butler and Salt joke, don't you? A big fan. He's a massive fan of it. He's a massive fan of this joke. This is a good, solid wicket here, man. Definitely not complaining with the pitch that we're getting here at Palakelly. Just hope this rain holds out and doesn't impact this one at the moment. But right now, Sri Lanka would love the rain to impact this game. And then the DLS would be really slow. That is going to be a single here. Yeah. Oh my gosh, a little bit of misfielding, but it will still just be a single. Good highlights, Daz. Daz was the greatest player on the field. He was the greatest player on the field. Absolutely crushed him. The only reason that Mark Hughes didn't win was because he let him. He let him win. Just waiting for Bethel to get that pull shot out. He loves it. He does love a good pull shot. Next bowl from Watchalong. That'll be smacked into the ground, and Phil Salt will get a boundary. 14 runs for Salt. Who are you backing? Well, I thought coming into this game I was looking at England. Right now, I'm saying Sri Lanka are well in advance. With that being said, though, England got bundled out for 128. Where was that game? Was that game here at Palakelly, or was that at Arpamadasar Stadium? And this was before the World Cup in that 3-game series that they did have. That was not the ODI. That was at Palakelly. That was here. So when England got that 128 and Sri Lanka got all out for 116, that was here at Palakelly. Because T22 was also at Palakelly. Actually, were all 3 of them Palakelly? Yeah, all 3 of them were Palakelly. Yeah, good highlights of me getting flattened while trying to stop old mate from scoring that last try. Oh, were you the one defending it, were you? Alright, so 23 for 1 through 4 overs. Bethel on 2 from 2, and that is going to be a single. Wow, interesting running, but they do get a single. These kids are cooked. I feel like there was people taking photos with more people taking photos with JC than GI. It's new age media, man. It's so funny. One time at the end of a Titans game, we were at the back, and AJ was walking around and I was there talking to AJ and someone came up and asked me for a photo in front of AJ. That was very funny. That was like 2-3 years back now. That was very funny. Dasmate into channeling his Burton bomb. Yeah, Dasmate, you score or what? No, there's my light going to go. My light's going to turn off here. That's going to be a dot ball here. That is a dot ball. No, I think Paul didn't like the fact that he got timed out for 24 hours. He probably hasn't turned up. Yeah, I don't think he's turned up since. But he earned that timeout. No regrets with an A. No regrets. Someone says, Manly looked that they did earlier. Defo be around the spoon. They didn't look good at all, mate. They looked awful. But Joe Welsh looks good. They need to have Joe Welsh starting in the halves alongside Jamal Fogarty, even though Jamal didn't look good. They've invested too much in him, so of course they're going to keep him there. Swing and a miss. But is that a wide? It is a good bowl. Dot ball. That is a dot ball. That's very close. Yeah, no, it is a good bowl. Well inside the line, actually. Jeez. That was a really nice bowl. Sri Lanka, they're on fire here, man. 5.33 on the run rate. 24 for 1 through 4.3. They are absolutely on fire here, Sri Lanka. Next ball. And that's going to be a dot ball. 24 for 1 through 4.4, man. What would be their current run rate? What would they be looking at right now? Honestly, it'd probably be more so around that 140, 150. This is low. This is very slow from England. Nothing's really going for them at the moment. The ball is just... Maybe this is why Sri Lanka decided to bowl first, just to frustrate the living shit out of them. But again, I do worry because they didn't chase that 128 here. And that was just about 2 weeks ago now. Crazy to think about that, but it was probably just over 2 weeks. Oh, about 2-3 weeks ago now. Oh, up in the air, up in the air, up in the air. And it will go through for a 4. Just gets past the fielder. Very lucky there. Our batsmen need to find some sort of form being the same the whole tournament. Yeah, look, I think that for mine, New Zealand and Pakistan do go through this group. But, like, if England find form, sure. But they just... yeah, oh, dude, they should have at least been stopped there. It could have been caught. It's probably poor fielding overall. That's probably poor fielding overall. Man, this guy yaps a lot. Sam, don't cry because your NRL Supercoach draft team isn't as good as mine. Don't cry, champion. So Phil Salt, he's on and he will smack that through for a 4. At least they're getting some runs here in the power play. So now 32 for 1 through 5. No, Draz. Seb says before the game they said a good score was around 170, 175. Well, I said the par probably was around that what Australia got against Sri Lanka the other day here at Pallekele, which was 181. I was looking at a par being roughly around that, yeah, 180. Trying to trade injured Robson for Grant. Send me a trade, you cat. You got the time. Go send me a trade. I'm itching, mate. I need to make a trade in the first day. I always do it in NFL fantasy, and I always do it on baseball and NBA fantasy. Go and send me a trade, you cat. Your voice keeps going in and out. Does it really? Is it just Sam that's having that problem, guys, or is it everybody? I feel like this is still a decent deck. Just the matter that Sri Lankans have bowled really well. Yeah, I think Sri Lanka just has bowled really well. They have. No, I think this is a good deck. Voice is absolutely clear. Sam, what are we talking about? You know, Sam's ears are going in and out. Well, that doesn't surprise me, Jay. No, that doesn't surprise me at all. See, again, he's just salty. He's just salty that he picked Talanoa Penatani in his... Oh, that's up in the air, that's up in the air, that's up in the air! He's gone! Sri Lanka will get a wicket of Jacob Bethel on 3. That is a massive wicket here for Sri Lanka. That is a massive, massive wicket here for Sri Lanka. And Jacob Bethel goes on 3, 32 for 2. What an unbelievable start. Yeah, I think it is just you, Samuel. That is a wicket. And the English, they are struggling at the moment. Jacob Bethel gone for 3. And they're already 2 wickets down. And they've already been really limited on runs in this power play. Harrison Sweet Pea took shit now. I want Jacko to come here. I want Jacko. That's who I want. I'll leave Seb for last, mate. Always leave the best for last. In regards to the slap down, if Jay can hear you perfectly with his age, if someone can't, they should see someone to get a hearing aid. Yeah, exactly right. And where's Chris Hendry? Tatter's not too bad. Tatter doesn't give us too much grief. Chris Hendry definitely does. This game's very early, by the way. Chris Hendry gives us a grief, but Carl's alright. Jacko gives us grief, but he's also a Chelsea fan, so you forget that. But he's also a Titans fan, so he really raises the bar with that one for all the other English fans. Chris Hendry, he said he was going to support the Rabbitohs or something. He's a cat. He's a cat. What do England end with? Right now, man, they're going to struggle to get to 150 right now. Right this second. They're looking like they might struggle to get 150, 140. Because this is some of the best bowling I've seen in a while, especially in T20. No, it's really good bowling at the moment from Sri Lanka. Very, very good bowling. I know what they're doing here, the Sri Lankans. And they're getting moving along nicely. If you can get through Harry Brook very soon. Who's up next? Is it Harry Brook? No, Tom Batten. But if you get through Brook before like 60 runs, well, you'd be absolutely flying. Because that means you get 2 wickets by then. I think Shana makes up for miscatch. Possible misfield? Oh, yeah, the previous one, yeah. India South Africa up next is a possible final matchup. Yeah, that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a great game. I do have India to win, but I'm actually just going to say the team who wins that is the team who bats second. I feel like whoever bats second will be able to get the job done there. That's what I'm fancying. Yeah, I would fancy whoever bats second to get the job done in Ahmedabad, which is a good chasing pitch. So Theekshana bowling, that was his first bowl, by the way. Tom Batten comes in. Tom Batten gets in. Run rate of 6.19 right now. Still super, super low. But they've only got 5 balls left of this power play. And right now, they can't really open up. They just can't get anything moving along. You know what I'm really feeling right now? Feeling a bum boy. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. 32 for 2 after 5.1. This may sound dumb, but what makes a good chasing pitch? It's not dumb. It's not exactly easy to explain, though. Just look at how the pitch looks, man. If it's got plenty of cracks on it, it's not looking pretty good. But it's a really difficult one. I'll probably let Shatij answer this question for you because it's not exactly easy off the top of my head to explain that to you. If I'm looking at a pitch, if I look at it, I'll be able to tell you. Off the top of my head, though, for example, Palakeli here is going to be a good pitch to chase on. Ahmedabad is a good pitch to chase on. Basically, it's not even necessarily about kind of specific things like that. It's more so about just the way that it looks and the way that it plays, and you see it pretty early on. And the pitches are more built for batting, and you'd prefer to be chasing on a good batting pitch, depending on the bowling. There's so many different factors, man. That's why it's so difficult to answer you. It's so difficult to answer you because there's so many different factors. Overall, that's a wide. That's a wide. I was contemplating a coconut coffee, but went for the traditional cow teat milk. Fair enough, Smidster. Fair enough. Traditional cow teat milk. I've never seen it put that way before. Sounds very Roosters fanish. No, they wouldn't go traditional. No, that'd be like a Canberra Raiders traditional cow teat milk. You need a fast outfield too. Yeah, the fast outfield is another one. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so difficult to explain it off the cuff here. You need to see it. You just need to see that, the pitch is looking nice. You need to see the outfield is fast, and if it's a good pitch, then again, how do I explain this, guys? All the cricket fans here, how do I explain this? how do I put this into words? I'm struggling. I'm struggling. It's not a silly question at all, Aspects. It's just kind of, you have to know how to read what you're looking at, is what I would say. Would anyone disagree with that statement? You just kind of have to have the ingrained knowledge of looking at it and seeing these kind of things. Ever wonder who was the first person to milk a cow and drink it? No, Jay. No, I don't. I don't wonder that. I don't think about that. No. Just hard, flat, no cracks, fast outfield. Okay, well, there you go. Make it simple. There's more to it, but make it simple. Thank you for putting that into a simplistic version. Good at chasing pitches, one which is binded evenly by grass and is hard. Yeah, you need to make that a lot more of a simple terminology. I know you find that easy, but I feel like non-cricket fans won't necessarily understand completely what you're saying there. Depends on the bounce being consistent, minimal cracking, and no change in conditions. Yeah, so that's why you say, like, you just, for me, when you look at a pitch, you just know it. And Ahmedabad, I'm not looking at the pitch right now, but then again, we have that track history. We have that record to know it's a good chasing pitch. It's usually just a really good pitch in general. Yeah, I'm more of I just look at it and I just know. And also the history of it all. Last time Sri Lanka beat England in T20 World Cup was 2012 on this very ground. Oh, true. There you go. Oh, okay, Aspects, I'll just go screw myself. Thanks, Night Eyes. Cheers, Seb. I'll just do my best here to answer your question. And no, just get nothing. I just get absolutely no thanks. My gosh, Aspects. Get a grip of yourself. So Hemantha will come in for a bolt. Unbelievable, What are we doing? Roosters would say Wagyu premium cow milk. That is that's what the Roosters would say. And it will be a latte. No, don't say no worries, Seb Watson. You didn't even thank me. I feel hurt. I feel ambushed. I feel really heartbroken, really. That's going to be another dot ball here. That's another dot ball. What about the first milk that's not made from a cow? Yeah, definitely not thinking about that one. I definitely haven't been ever thinking about that one. In India, if the pitch is made of black soil, you can expect it to bounce even, and the ball tends to come onto the bat, whereas on red soil, it turns and grips. So that will be a single here for Phil Salt. He'll be on 25. At least he's getting, well, he usually in this World Cup, his peak was 30, and he did get 28, so his area, he has gone out for a couple of early ones as well, but his area is around this 28-30 mark. It's been a while since the last cricket stream. I was here last night for New Zealand versus South Africa. If it's been raining in Sri Lanka, it shouldn't spin this much. This is really good bowling from Sri Lanka, and that is going to be a single. 39 for 2. Now, again, man, I was just struggling to put it into words. Like, when I just look at a pitch, you just know. It's like for me when I go, for a surf and I go out in the ocean, you can see where you need to go to wait for the right part of the break, rather than just kind of going, oh, that's going to be a hard swing, that'll be a 4. And Phil Salt will get to 29. I look at the ocean and I just know exactly where the prime point is. I know exactly where to swim out. Obviously, you can tell where the rip is and going out via that way. But you just look and you just know. And it's the same thing with cricket for mine. I don't know why this is on KO. England games don't tend to be on KO, unfortunately, Sam. Was there much cricket in that game? Yeah, there was an entire no ball bowled, Seb. Yeah. An entire 0 balls bowled last night. But I was here. Seb. Were you? Were you watching the game? I watched it. I watched it all. I was here the whole time. Shatish, he was here, mate. He saw me pumping along. It's a single there for Tom Batten. What do you watch on then? Well, it's on Prime. I actually have Hainsey's Prime, He hooked me up with it, but my VPN for some reason plays up on my computer here, so I can't jump on the VPN on ExpressVPN to watch it there. So I'm currently watching it on VIPbox.tv. It's going to be a single there for Tom Banton. He'll be on 45. Well, he'll be on 4, but England will be on 45-2. After 7 overs, amazing start, Sri Lanka. Wouldn't a wet pitch spin less even after it gets dry? Ask BKRsport how a good coconut coffee is made. He will answer in a flash, mate. I'm not Vietnamese, alright? But if you want to ask about how to make a good coconut coffee, you've got to ask the Vietnamese. Because they know. Now, they definitely know. They make the greatest coconut coffee that ever did coconut coffee. You know, Smith's talking about going to get a coconut coffee. He wish her. Spencer says, BKRsport reads a pitch better than he reads a menu. He's essentially a soil whisperer. I am a soil whisperer. I am. That is my job. When I travel overseas and I have to put down what my occupation is, I put soil whisperer down. Shane Prime doesn't do pop out. I think it does, doesn't it? I think it does. Prime does do pop out. Next bolt. And that's going to be a single for Tom Banton. He'll be on 5. Have you ever tried coconut chutney here? I have not tried that, Shatish. Would you rather be in a pool made of coconut coffee or Coke Zero? I think it depends on the time of the day, mate. Like, if we're talking 8 p.m. at night, I'm jumping straight into a Coke Zero pool. But if we're talking, 8 a.m. in the morning, 6 a.m. in the morning, and maybe even a middayer, coconut coffee all day. My missus makes a mean coconut curry. Coconut curry is awesome, Smithster. That is good stuff. Coconut curry is legit. A wet pitch bounces more. It pops when the ball hits a wet deck, Jay says. So next ball from Chamira, and that will be a single. Coke Zero would fry the body. Sabbath, why don't you just leave me alone? Just let me be my own man, Why don't you just let me swim in my Coke Zero, and that's about it. Not sure either of them would be good in the midday sun. Well, of course you have it with a cooler, like an ice bath. You chug it. Well, you're not swimming in warm milk. What's wrong with you? I'm swimming in nice cold coconut coffee milk. Oh my gosh. Now that's the greatest ever. Next bolt. And that will be a single for Tom Banton. He'll be on 6. 48 for 2 through 7.3. I'm saying right now, I'm backing England in for a 140. I'm going England 140 right now. I'm doing it. Last boundary was, it wasn't too long ago, Serpent, but that was one of very, very few. It might have been like an over 2 overs ago. This may sound crazy, but I don't want to swim in milk at all. Well, Aspects, you haven't had coconut coffee before, have you? Have you? She says, kind of stops on a wet deck. Judging by the nature of soil in India, a wet pitch can bounce more or sort of have a died bounce. And that is going to be a single. Raw milk would be nice. Now we're talking. Was there no thought to go to any of this World Cup? Me go to this World Cup? No. I'm sweet, man. I'm focused on the streams at the moment. Maybe, eventually I'll get back into some vlogs and whatnot on a bigger level, not just Titans games, but no. I know it's not too far from me, but it's still probably, about a 3-4 hour flight away from me? I think. How long's the flight from Vietnam to India? I think it was about 2.5 hours to Thailand. It's probably about a 4-hour flight, I'd say, to Sri Lanka. That's going to be a single. Oh, run a chance. Oh, my gosh, he's gone, I think. I think he's got him. I think he's got him. I think he's got him, son. He's run out. I think he's run him out. This is an amazing throw. I think he's run out. Oh, my gosh, he's been given a wicket, and Tom Banton is gone on 6. That is wild running that. Scoreboard pressure, man. Scoreboard pressure has got to them, and yeah, he is run out. Wow. Shatish, please don't contact me outside of chat. Oh, boy. This is a crazy good start from Sri Lanka. It's an amazing start from Sri Lanka, man. This is an amazing start. I didn't see Shatish come. I'll send you some clips on the pitches we have played here. Too funny. Okay, well, Harry Brook comes in. Remember when I said if they can get Harry Brook out before they get to 60, then Sri Lanka probably just go on and clean sweep this? Well, they've got 11 runs to try and do that in. What a fantastic game here from Sri Lanka. What an absolutely spectacular game from Sri Lanka at the moment. Harry Brook, acceleration 80, innovation 90, and control 91. This is a big wicket here. Harry Brook is massive. Like, obviously, Salt's on 32 from 22, but Brook is a massive wicket. Run-outs are better than a clean bowled. Nah, dude, no, I'm taking a clean bowl for sure. Are you taking a Mitch Stark, just slap middle stump over the top of a run-out? No way. No way. I'm always taking a Mitch Stark slap. Mitchell Johnson slap. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, my goodness me. I'm always taking a Mitchy Stark slap. So 49 for 3 through 7.5, 6.26 currently on the run rate. They are well behind what they need to be looking towards. And we're not going to read that coming out from Smith. So that is a very interesting thought process. I don't think I've ever thought of that one before. Don't know if I'd ever be keen for that one. Next bowl from Chamira. He's only given up 4 runs with that 1 wicket, and that is a bounce. And has he got in? No, didn't Nick. Wow, it was close. What a bowl, though. So 4 singles, a wicket, and a dot ball. Amazing over. 49 for 3 through 8. 49 for 3 through 8 here. Phil Salt, 32 from 23. Harry Brook will now come on strike. Could you imagine if they had Hasaranga right now? If they had Hasaranga, yeah, definitely too much time in Pattaya for Smithster. Definitely too much time there with that kind of comment. Fire up Sri Lanka. You know, Hemantha. He'll have his next over now. He's only bowled the 1 to go up just the 8 runs. I don't know if there has been a single over that is, I think that's, no, the 9 would be the most given up in 1 over so far in this game. So Butler out for 7, Bethel out for 3, Benton out for 6. Where's Jacko? Where is he? Where is he to back in the English here? Hey lads, I just want to say we got 181 against these guys. England. Just want to put that out there. At the same place too, mind you. You cats, England. You cats. So they're 50 for 3 through 8.1. 50 for 3 through 8.1. Listen. Same place, Butter Kelly. We were, at this point of the game, we might have been at 80, 90 runs already. 80, 90 runs already. Next bowl. And another full toss, which will just be a single. Go for another run. Go on. You won't. You won't. 51 for 3. If they can keep them under 70 through 10 overs, they're in a lot of trouble here, England. Been a bit longer now, no boundaries. Yeah, hasn't been a boundary in a while now. When you asked, it was like there was one recent, but again, very limited. But now it's been a while since the boundary. And that is out. Is he out? He's saying he hit into the ground. Sri Lanka may review this. Has he into the ground, or has that just popped straight up? Sri Lanka were confident there. Are they going to review this? No, they're not going to review it. I need to have a look at this again. Sri Lanka were all up in the air thinking that was a wicket. And Yeah, definitely bounced. Definitely hit into the ground. But good fielding there to stop a 4 anyway. Good fielding regardless. Hermantha, this has been spectacular from Sri Lanka. That's going to be just another single here. They are really restricting them. Oh my gosh. If that throw hits the stumps, they're gone again on a run out. They've got to be really serious right now, England. That would have been a run out if that hit the stumps. This running is ridiculous, Seb. It's ridiculous. Like, again, the scoreboard pressure is what's doing it for him right now. They've just put a 6 on the score sheet. It's definitely not a 6. But the scoreboard pressure, they know they need a lot more runs than this. That's why they're running as much as they can. But it will get them out. If he's well out, if Dushan catches that ball, he gets him on the stumps 100%. If that hits the stumps, he's out by a good 5 meters. 6 runs, yeah, you wish. Hey, you wish. Oh, went for a 4, did it? Oh, true, I didn't even see that. I thought that was a mistake. And that will be a single. So you get very lucky from that. What arguably should have been another wicket turned into 6 runs. There's just that pressure on the score as we speak. Yeah, they didn't really show the overthrow. That's why I didn't really know. Next ball from Hermantha. And that's up in the air. Oh my gosh. Good fielding. It'll just be a single here. Patham Nasanka stops that one from going through. So 59 for 3 through 9 overs. What's that? That's a 9 run over again. She just says England should hold the chokers tag along with the Saffers. Invented the game and just won a T20 World Cup on the back of Kiswet, who is also Safa, won the 2019 World Cup on the boundary count and has never dominated any ICC event. Hey, listen, English, I'm going to let you deal with that one. You guys can reply to Shatij how you see fit. How you see fit. But also, it's not surprising for him to tell us about a guy that's from South Africa who was a part of one of your winning teams. It's not a surprise there, England, considering your Ashes captain is Kiwi. So, well, RJ, 1 for 16 through 2. Walalagay. Oh, man, I always get his name incorrect. So, Walalagay, that'll be a single, maybe 2 here if they're quick enough. Maybe 2 if they're quick enough. They go for it, and they will get there. Okay, that was actually good running. Snatching other countries' talent. Yeah, look, that's very English. That is very English. They're basically USA at this point, when the USA just ran out a full Indian and Pakistani team. It's basically where we're at currently. Isn't that right, English fans? Next ball from Walalage. And double. The last boundary, Serpent, was 16 balls ago. 16 balls, so 1 more ball away now from 3 overs. It's a long time between drinks. You see what I mean now? So 16 balls ago, or 17 balls ago would have been 8 point. It would have been just before when you previously asked. Who scored the last boundary? Probably Phil Salt. He's kind of been the only one doing anything here today. Nano says, who's your favourite current cricket player of any format? Honestly, right now, I would say it's Alex Carey. I did love Alex Carey in that Ashes. I would say it's Alex Carey. I would say it's Alex Carey. By the way, Shatij, you're still debating me and disagreeing with me in regards to Abhishek Sharma, number 1? He's had an unreal tournament so far, man. That's going to go for a 4 here for Brooke. Nay says, bye-bye. You're lucky you don't get timed out. Not Travis Head, Ian says. Why? Why not Travis Head, mate? Why not Travis Head? His keeping is crazy. It's unbelievable. He's the best keeper in the world. Shatij says Morgan was at his prime in the Irish team, and what they did, they just snatched him. Same with Archer, Peterson, and many more. Jacob Bethel. He needs to improve. Yeah, you reckon? You reckon I'm still wrong in regards to the debate on him being number one? He's gotten like 3 ducks recently, 3 or 4 ducks. So that's going to be a single, maybe 2. Should be 2. Should be 2. Yeah, they get the 2. They get the 2. So we bottlers or just going on about players that were not born in the country they play for? We'll go for all, mate. Seb Watson. Whatever you want me to insult you with, then we'll go with that one. Your choice, mate. Your choice. Whatever insult you want is what we'll go with. BGMI says, hello, you are from England. No, I'm from Australia, mate. I'm from... Oh, is that an LBW? He's out. He's got him. Harry Brook's gone. Harry Brook is gone for the English at 68 for 4 through 10 overs. They're going to review it here, England. I do actually think this is missing. But I hope I'm wrong. Beautiful. So they have reviewed this. This is a big wicket here. 68 for 4. And... oh, this might just be ump's call. This could be ump's call. Oh, this might just be out. This simply just may be out. There's a lot of stuff we miss in this World Cup, BGMI. Don't you worry. I take the piss out of England here because we've got a lot of English lads here in the chat that get around the banter. But no, Australia dog shit this World Cup so much. Oh, yeah! Umpire's call. Harry Brook is gone. Wow, that really turns late there, but really swings out late. But overall, that is another wicket down for the English, and Harry Brook is gone on 14. As Seb Watson, who is an Englishman, said to me, or said to the chat, when it was Australia versus Sri Lanka, we got absolutely smacked up. And, you know, I was a bit frustrated, I was a bit annoyed, and I was, feeling down the dumps. And Seb said, listen, as an Englishman, it is my requirement, it is my responsibility, actually, to insult the Australians at every given opportunity. And I said, look, fair play. You know, fair enough, that is exactly right. The English do have a responsibility to slap down Australians whenever you get an opportunity, because there's not much that you get the opportunity. But also, Uno reverse, mother bitch. Uno reverse, Mr. Seb Watson. How you feeling? You feeling confident? But yeah, no, much more than Cummins' captaincy at the World Cup is what we missed, mate. I think you will find that in almost every country, even the Aussies have players born in England. Sebby, don't do this to yourself. Don't do this to yourself. Don't do this. By the way, if England were to lose this game, you're kind of cooked with that draw from last night because of the match abandoned without a ball. You're kind of cooked because they've got the 1 point now as it is. Sri Lanka, again, this is very early in this game, guys. Things can change. But they've got the 1 point. Say, let's assume that Sri Lanka go on to win this game. Then that's 2 points, right? You're on 0. You must win both of your games against both Pakistan and New Zealand. And with all due respect to Sri Lanka, those two teams are better, much better than Sri Lanka. So I feel like you just desperately need to win this game, England. Brook and Sharma have been the two most disappointing players of the tournament. Next bowl, and that's up in the air, that's up in the air, that's up in the air, that's up in the air. Oh my gosh, it's a 4. You are so lucky. Phil Salt, if he had to go on there, that would have been done and dusted. 41 runs for Phil Salt. BGMI says, Australian people don't care about T20 cricket, ? Yeah, look, unfortunately, mate, I care about all formats of cricket. I love all sport, man. So I'm different, and you got some Australians here that are different as well. But at the end of the day, I will lose sleep over the Ashes, and Australians probably won't lose sleep over the Ashes, but they'll be very, very distraught and disappointed if they, not distraught, that's not the right word, but disappointed severely if Australia lose the Ashes. That's about as far as Australians go. Again, not me and not people in this chat, but for the most part, good 99.9% of the country don't probably even know this T20 World Cup is on. And the only reason they would know it's on is because of maybe a post that comes through their Instagram feed. It's not a big thing in Australia, no. So that's why when you get all these people commenting online saying, oh, Australians, they just say they don't care about T20 when they get out. No, that's not the case. They just genuinely don't. They genuinely don't. Next bowl. Because Australians have grown up with a traditional culture of Test cricket is the be-all and end-all. They've grown up with Don Bradman. They've grown up with Shane Warne. They've grown up with... Don Bradman's obviously much long ago, but hearing about Don Bradman, right? Shane Warne and Ricky Ponting and, all these kind of guys. And that's why Test cricket... It involves everything, man. You can't not say Test cricket's not the best format in the game. It's pure cricket. Seb Watson says, to be fair, we don't deserve to be going any further in this stage unless you completely blink it, English fan. No, Seb. You need to be very confident you go through because I want to make it... I want to know that you believed. I want to know you believed. And then it'll make me feel better. I want to just know that you believe. They'll get 2 runs here. And... Oh, jeez. Very risky running. But 76 for 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runs here from the over. And we know who they are. Cough, cough, Jacko, Harrison, Hendry. Bloody Hendry, mate. How about him? How about him? Wait, who? Oh, sorry, I was looking at chat. But BBL still have good crowd, but Australian Test team also plays. Well, Australian Test team isn't BBL. Australians will maybe go for a bit of a laugh on a. They're not going to care though. Like obviously, everyone wants Australia to win at everything, but Australians care about rugby league. They care about AFL, and then every other sport is the filter downs and the summer sports. Australians only really care about summer series, man, for Test cricket. Seb Watson says, Shatish, you were the only one going on about that, not me. You were going on about stealing players. Get a grip. Every country in the world has players that play for other nations. So move on. Get into him, Seb. Fire up. Fire up. Get into him. Say that, Shatish. That's an uppercut. What are you going to reply with? You going to get a headbutt going back? Or love it. The Indians and the English are fighting in the chat. We're doing our job here as Australians. We're getting everyone fighting. And we can just sit back and watch and enjoy. Sit back and enjoy the beauty. Get into each other. Beautiful stuff. Who do you support, BJ My King? Who do you support? Where are you from? And don't tell me you're from India and you support Australia. Or don't tell me you're from Pakistan and support New Zealand. Because we get that way too much. Please support your own nation. You just get that way too much, man. So many just jump on the Aussies or the Saffers or the Kiwis or the English, and you're just like, what are you doing? 77 4 through 11 overs. She says, Seb Watson, no one has ever stolen players like you did with Peterson, Morgan, Archer. Want me to go on? Man, so I'm not the biggest cricket fan, but watching the Test series has actually got me hooked to this sport. BBL is actually not like that at all. It just feels boring. BBL is just a gimmick, man. It is. It's just a short-form gimmick that people don't care about because Australians care about Test cricket. And they will slightly care. They will care more about ODI than T20, I guarantee it. Not that there's much of a separator there, but they would care more about it. That'll be 2 runs here. Phil Sol, you'll be on 47. 47. Shatish, I just want to chuck another couple of names in there, if that's okay. Chuck in Bryden Carson and Ben Stokes, please. Do me a favour, please. Just asking for a favour there. Now go again, Seb. Don't worry. Your turn now, Seb. Your turn. Smith says, BBL's for dads to take their young kids to the cricket for a few hours. Yeah, exactly right, Smith. It's a way to get new eyes in on the sport in Australia. That is going to be punched for a single, maybe 2. No, just a single. No, it's a great way to put it, Smith. So I would like it ultimately to be bigger, but all the best players don't play because they're playing like the Ashes. They're playing the Ashes. Or they're playing for their own international teams. Like the famous man, Babar Azam. Babar Azam. didn't even get to play in the finals because he was playing for Pakistan. So 80 for 4 through 11.2. Run rate is 7.06. And that is a double. Yeah, exactly right, guys. Don't forget, hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new around here. Sri Lanka looking really good at the moment. Maybe for a very sneaky win here. Next bowl. That will be a single for Sam Curran. He'll be on 2. Bubba plays for every country that Pakistan plays against. He's definitely not been their best. Well, he ultimately got dropped in regards to batting. He fell down that batting lineup so far. Sebon says, Satish, once upon your time, the captain of your country was born in England, so you carry on. Oh, boy. Who is that, Seb? Let everyone know in the chat who you're talking about. I don't know who you could be talking about, mate. An Indian captain born in England? No way. No, I don't believe it, Seb Watson. They're always the moral superiority of the world. They're always the one that carries the torch in regards to the legalities of cricket. You know, there's no way. There is no way that they would circumnavigate that. No way, I don't believe it, Seb. That will be a single for Sam Curran. He'll get to 3. It'll be 83 for 4 through 12 overs. 8 overs to go here. So that is 48 balls remaining. 48 balls remaining. And don't forget, later on tonight, we'll be live as India take on South Africa. Well, Alligator Brook, he just really set him up and then went bang. Jeez, I love how Sri Lankans, when they celebrate, they really drop low and then rise up. It's not like it's just a full-on consistent, give me the wicket. They really drop like down to the ground and then come back up. So Hemantha, he's going 27 runs, hasn't got a wicket, but he's on now for his final over. She says, it must be the time when English ruled India. I mean, well, no, don't go down a political path, bro. Keep it cricket, man. Keep it cricket. Come on. Nah, that's not cool, man. Keep it cricket, man. If you're going to talk shit and talk banter, we're not here to have political debates and discussions and whatnot, man. We're here to keep it cricket. Seb hasn't insulted India on anything outside of cricket, and I would expect you to do the same. The Sri Lankan fans are doing burpees, pretty much. Not fans, the players. So 84 for 4 through 12.2. Oh, yeah, earlier today they had the whole pitch covered. So only 1 run for the first 2 balls here from Hemantha. Next bolt. That'll be a single. 85 for 4. What are you guys thinking that England get to from here? So, oh, by the way, footy bomb, footy bomb, footy bomb, footy bomb. That's footy bomb for Phil Salt. Really underwhelming footy bomb there from a height perspective, but at the end of the day, it is a footy bomb. At the end of the day, it is a footy bomb. These ads, yeah, you might just have to go and get the premium, man. Especially considering we've got the NRL season coming up. And oh, that's up and yeah, that's absolutely smashed for a 6. That is smashed for a 6. Was that a Warriors fan in the crowd just then? I feel like it might have been. Phil Salt, without him, where would England be right now? Where would they be? Good swing. Yeah, he smacked that one for a 6. 84 metres. Oh, was that Sam Curran, was it? Yeah, I think that was Sam Curran who actually got that 6. Yeah, it was. So he's on 10 from 8. Next ball, that will be a single. Curran will be on 11. Phil Salt has over half of their score right now. KJ says, that'd be where Oz are. Yeah, well, fair enough. Exactly right. Yeah, mate, I'll sit here and absolutely take this lander for Australia. Don't you worry, mate. Don't worry. If you want to criticise Australia, I'll join in with you. Because they were dog shit, mate. They were dog shit. But that also doesn't prevent me and us from talking shit about England too. Because it all comes around, man. It all comes around. Yeah, no, don't you worry, man. I'm not afraid to talk about our inept cricketing ability in this T20 World Cup. Or should I say selection from George Bailey and coaching from Andrew McDonald. Seb says it's your national right. It's a national right of Australia to tell the English to eat a dick every single time we come up with each other. It is what it is. You know, it just has to be. I have a responsibility as an Australian to make you feel like your team sucks. And luckily for me, it's not me making you feel that your team sucks. I'm just enhancing your knowledge of your team sucking. You know? It's a responsibility. I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job here. Salt to save England right now. He is. He's literally got more runs than England have got in total at the moment. Without him, I'd be on the flight back to damn well London. So run rate 7.23, 7 overs to go. Comment in the chat what you think England will get to. I'm going to back in from here. As long as Phil Salt stays in, I'll still back in a 160. If Phil Salt stays in, if he gets out quickly, that is still another 64 runs, 66 runs away. England did very well in the Ashes. Yeah, no, fantastic stuff they were in the Ashes. Fantastic stuff. 7 overs to go here. If they can pump through Phil Salt. Oh, Sam Curran, big swing, big miss. Dot ball. Through that first over for Shamira, he only gave up 4 runs. This is his second over now, and he's already got a dot ball. Benz, it's kind of ironic, though. England's pretty salty. Very much. Even 140 would be nice. I think they should be getting 56 runs in the last 7 overs here. Surely. 56 runs in the last 7 overs, you've got to expect. I guess Will Jacks has been good on the bat. That's where I've been looking at in the tournament. Not really being his bowling, actually. It's more of his bat that he's been really good with in this tournament so far. Next bowl. Up in the air. Is that smash for a 6? That should be smash for a 6, I reckon. No, it's not. He's out. Sam Curran's gone. Sam Curran is gone. It's 94 for 5, and the London Bridge is falling down. 94 for 5 through 13.2. Sam Curran is gone. It's a wicket for Sri Lanka. And it's not the big wicket of Phil Salt, but it's still another big wicket nonetheless. And now, you're at Will Jacks. After Will Jacks, no one's really batting after that. Liam Dawson, Overton, and Archer, even though Archer wasn't too bad in the Ashes for the old bat. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. 56 more runs. Sri Lanka's doing their job pretty well. No, Sri Lanka is killing this game right now. 94 for 5. That's amazing. If Phil Salt goes, man. If Phil Salt, I know Will Jacks is a solid bat, but like if Phil Salt goes, God bless him. God bless him. Come on, Sri Lanka. Keep cracking. Seven, 3, 6, 14, and 11. 20, 31, 34, 41. So the rest of England right now have 41 runs. Phil Salt has 52. So there's just the one extra. Phil and Will together now. Yeah, a bit of Phil and Willie. Philly and Willie. The ones batting for the English. But I do need to remind everyone of that third game of the T20 series that England played Sri Lanka in Sri Lanka before this World Cup started. Sri Lanka were chasing 128 and only got 116. So don't think this is a guarantee by any means. KJ says Will Jacks will go at 14 and over. 14 and over, you reckon? Wow. What would that get you to? 14 and over, that's times it by 6. Wow, you're going to have a lot of runs, man. That's what, over... You'd be over 200, wouldn't you? No, you wouldn't be. Well, I guess you're going to include these last 4 ones here, so that's 14 times 7. You'd be over 200. Mate, unbelievable stuff. Oh, this is a drinks break. That's why we're waiting here. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. It's a drinks break. It is a drinks break right now. 14 times 7, what's that? 70, 74, 78, 82, 86, 90, 94, 98. Oh, so no, you wouldn't be at 200. Oh my gosh, not good enough, KJ. Didn't get to 200. Mr. Mojo says, when is Australia playing? They are playing in the city of where? Shitsville, mate. We are in a big game. We're in a massive, massive game in that one, man. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, Steve Smith is apparently captaining. At least they're letting him play for that one rather than just sending him over there. Well, maybe there is word that they're going to still take him to Shitsville and then still not play him. There is that opportunity and that option there. And there is a big shout that Cameron Green's going to get the captaincy and actually open as well alongside Cooper Connolly. So, look, I'm looking forward to it. It's a big game later on tonight, about 3 a.m. in the morning. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't get rained out. But it's big potential. Big potential, but hopefully it doesn't get rained out. And Cameron Green, he's been on fire in this World Cup. Same with Cooper Connolly. That's going to be next bowl. Will be a dot ball. Will be a dot ball. I really hope that the openers are Cooper Connolly and Cameron Green in the next game. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm thinking. And if it's not, then look, as long as you've got Cameron Green there, that's all I ask. And then make sure Glenn Maxwell plays for the next 5 years. You definitely just want to really suck whatever you can out of the back end of his career. So there'll be a single here for Will Jacks if you want one. Smith says Cameron Green overpaid. Yes. Absolutely. He's the highest ever paid Australian player in IPL history. He went for more than Mitchie Starc. He went for more than Mitchie Starc. Oh, gosh. Deary me. 95 for 5 here. 6.2 overs to go. 6.2 overs left here. Run rate is 6.95. Only the one run off of this over from Chimera with the wicket. Next bowl. And that will be another single. Oh, no. Wow. Misfield there for a 4. Phil Salt will get to 56. A misfield for a 4. 99 for 5. England. 1,051 fours hit across the tournament so far. At least if you get one more run here, England, then that'll be 100 kits delivered to our youth clubs. That's what we want to see. Get around the 100 kits. Yeah, 28 crores. You got to remember, Shatish, people here don't understand crores. So I think it's about 4.2 million AUD. 5 runs off the last 2 balls. Outside of that, still a pretty good over. Really good over from Chimera. And that will be up in the air. That's a good shot. That's a beautiful shot there from Phil Salt. He is literally carrying this team right now. It's a 6 for Phil Salt. He'll get to 62. He is quite literally carrying this team on his back as we speak. He has 62. The only other spare runs of 43. Draz, just came from prayer. England in a spot of bother, but love how I said Salt is underwhelming and now gets a 50 now. Yeah, no, he's crushing it. England's hero, without him, man, they'd be in a lot of trouble here. But it's a great knock from Phil Salt. 69 metres on the distance. It's not the longest boundary out there because they cleared the boundary by a long way. But you need plenty of those. 6 overs to go here. I feel like that par was still that 180, man. Because it was just really good bowling from Sri Lanka at the start and has been just really good bowling overall. So I still feel like the par is 180 despite the fact that maybe English will say differently. Again, though, third game, Palakeli, T20 series against England. Sri Lanka failed to chase 128. And that will be a single here for Will Jacks. He'll be on 2. Phil Salt needs to be neutralised. If Sri Lanka want to keep them under 160, then Salt needs to go like now. But you need to take risks if you're England still, because this is still really, really low. With 5.5 overs to go. Up in the air, up in the air, up in the air, up in the air. He's gone. Phil Salt's out on 62, and that is a crucial wicket, just as we were talking about it. Just as we were talking about it, Phil Salt joins the Australians back home in Sydney, and Phil Salt out for 62. Is this a knockout game? Not a knockout game, Smith, but kind of. With New Zealand and Pakistan getting the rain out last night, which means they both get 1 point. If Sri Lanka would win this game, they go to 2. England must win basically both of their games against New Zealand. Actually, no, they do. They need to win both their games against New Zealand and Pakistan. So it kind of is, but it's also not. It kind of is, but it's also not. Salty good. No, Salt was fantastic, man. You can't criticise Phil Salt. No, it was a great performance from him with the 62. It's not on KO for some bloody reason. What am I paying for? Yeah, I feel like it's just the England games that don't come up on KO. Oh, no, sorry. No, none of the T20 World Cup is on KO. None of it is. None of it's on KO. It's on Amazon Prime. The whole tournament's on Amazon Prime. You'll get some cricket again on KO once this T20 World Cup finishes up. Like, you'll probably get New Zealand versus South Africa on the T20 World Cup not T20 World Cup, in New Zealand versus South Africa 5-game T20 series. I'll cover that too here, but the 5-game T20 series right after this World Cup finishes. Feel now they'll bundle these inventors of cricket below 140, Shatish says. 140 looks tough, but Will Jacks can still bat here, man. Dark King Coda says, who are you guys supporting here? Look, at the end of the day, man, I get involved with banter with the English. I don't really care who wins this game. It's just enjoying a bit of banter with the English. Of course, I would like to see Sri Lanka win on the basis that they're an underdog and they've had a tough slog in recent years and they're trying to bring their cricketing program back to its best. So, of course, as an Australian, I'm going to back in a little bit of Sri Lanka. But if England win, you know, like, all fair play to them and fair dues to them. But as an Australian, it's my God-given right to slap them down as well, just like it's their right to slap me down. FIFA World Cup, I have no idea what they'll be played on. I'll be a dot ball here. Giovanni says, dearie me, Smithster, guy doesn't know about NRL and thought the World Cup's been on KO this whole time. Giovanni, Smithster is an interesting character. He's an interesting character. He's trying so desperately to understand NRL so he can get involved in the banter. That's going to be another dot ball here. Well done, Walalaje. Well done. That's a wicket and just a single off of that over. 1 run and a wicket. Well done, Walalaje. That's the end of him too. 3 for 26. But in cricket, like, he has an idea what he's talking about. He definitely does. But it is weird that he didn't notice that KO didn't have the T20 World Cup in this tournament. My preference is, at any rate, don't forget about Smith Giovanni. Don't forget, he has been telling us that Cooper Connolly is the greatest player coming through and that he's going to be awesome. And, he's keeping all the receipts on Cooper Connolly and all this type of stuff. He's keeping them all. He's been telling us for ages. Cooper Connolly is going to be one of the greatest players of all time. He's been very, very quiet on this front. He's been very quiet on this front recently. My preference is Sri Lanka, but it's not even a hate watch anymore from me. I just want good, solid cricket for 40 overs. We will slap them if they lose and have banter, but we are real fans of sport. Yeah, of course. Yeah, if England win, they deserve it, mate. If England lose, then good. I just want good cricket. It's looking like the best birthday for Brooke. Oh, is it his birthday today? And he got out for, 3? Well, I didn't know it was his birthday today. Happy birthday. We should start maybe singing a happy birthday for him. Well, Will Jacks is the one you've got to get through now. Once you get through him, bundle him out. It's not looking like the best birthday. Seb, I saw the first comment, mate. I saw the first one. Next bolt will be a single. Dark says, why does Will Jacks come so down in the order? I thought he was middle order batsman. Well, who are you putting him over the top of? I really don't think that you're putting over the top of Harry Brook, despite him not being unbelievable, but at the moment. But Will Jacks, who are you putting? Are you putting him above Sam Curran? Curran had one good, real solid knock early on in the tournament. Who are you putting Will Jacks over? That would be a dot ball. Feek Shana, 2 runs off of the first 3 balls here. One away for 6 through 15.3. 4.3 overs to go. They're going to struggle to get 150 here. And that will be a single. But do not think it's easy for Sri Lanka, because they tried to chase 128 and they did not chase 128 in the third game of the T20 series. Will Jacks, the way he has been finishing off, his role is perfect for where he is, to be honest. Yeah, he has been really good, man, with his batting. He's been one of their best. He probably has been your most consistent batter this T20 World Cup, no, England? Would you agree with me there? I feel like you have to. England cricket. So, in this tournament so far, against Nepal, Will Jacks literally saved you with a 39 not out, and you won by 4 runs. And that was like dead set 20 odd runs on the last over. He literally saved you. And then against the West Indies, he did only get out for 2. But against Scotland, he didn't. He got 16 not out, so you're not complaining about that. 16 not out. And then against Italy, he bat for 53 not out. Yeah, he's probably been your most consistent batter throughout this tournament. And did you watch a charity match? No, I was streaming Rabbitohs versus Manly, bro. You know this. He's been clutch, that Jacks has. Yeah, he's been probably their best batter through the tournament. Most consistent batter through the tournament is what I would say for Will Jacks. All right, so 114 for 6 through 16 overs. Jackson Dawson out there now. Overton, Archer, and Rashid are the last 3. Four overs remaining here. Best of felt 4 years, didn't get any ball, made a couple of tackles, took a huge hit without the ball, and ran alongside Take and Hayne. I don't know who Take is, but yeah, good stuff in regards to Jared. I did hear that Guana's won or whatever in the last couple of seconds, or a couple of minutes, which is cool. But no, I was trimming the Rabbitohs from Manly. I've got Amazon Prime fired up. Fire it up, Smithster. Fire it up. That game was 4 p.m. Charity match 2 p.m. Oh, yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. I wasn't aware. So that's going to be a dot ball here from Chimera, 16.1. I used to be a cricketer myself. Maybe you can play for England. Yeah, that's a nice bowl for a dot ball. Nice bowl there, Chimion. Liam Dawson, what does he usually average, English fans? I'll put him back up top with Salt, drop Butler down to 4. Are you being serious, Seb, or are you taking the piss? So, next bowl from Chimera, 3.5 left. Oh, that is a full toss, and that is going to be speared out just for a single, though. Good fielding, good field placement. Single. Andrew Fafita was a no-show. His excuse, hey, lads, I'm playing cricket, can't make it. Oh, dude, that's really disappointing. That's really disappointing to hear. You know, you promote it, and you have him there, and then he doesn't turn up. We had that a couple of years ago with the charity match, actually. We had that with a content creator. He just never replied or came. Liam Dawson isn't really a batter. No, I know that. I was just saying, what's his average? So 1 for 16 for Chimera. Through 2.2. Next bowl, that's slapped and will be crunched to the 4. That is a good boundary from Will Jacks. They need him to pull through here. At least get yourself to 150. At least. At least get yourself to 150 here, man. There we go. So that will go for a 4. Well, Sri Lanka will be liking this right now, that's for sure. They will be liking this, but there's still a long, long way to go here. I think they would have liked anything under 180. That's a wide. They would have liked anything under 180. And they're definitely getting that. So 120 for 6 through 16.3. I think a success from here would still be to keep them under 160 because Will Jacks can still slap them around. Will India win the World Cup or still close competition, no clear favour? I think tonight will tell you who wins this World Cup. And by that I mean India play South Africa after this. If India win that well, I don't think anyone beats them from here. If India struggle, then it's probably between India, South Africa, and maybe New Zealand because they've got great batting, just not amazing bowling, but they can bat. And if things go their way in regards to tosses and whatnot, you know, they'd fancy themselves, the Kiwis. That will be a single here for Will Jacks. But if India lose South Africa, then that would be a massive spanner in the works and everyone's back in play. 150 is definitely not defendable in this deck. Yeah, we said the same thing on the test on the T20 game 3 of that T20 series. Prior to the World Cup, man. We said the exact same thing. 1 for 22 through 2.4. 2 more balls left here of the over. $124 for 6. 121 for 6. If you get Will Jacks now, if you get Will Jacks now, then they probably are going less than 150. They probably would. That should be 2 runs here, however. So current projected score is 146. And Tan says, not really Draz. Big Bash quite a bit. Enjoyed Ash has got a mate who's really into this World Cup, but... Well, yeah, look, the obvious answer to give you, Hayden, is that India look like the best to go and win the World Cup, but they also haven't looked completely convincing throughout this tournament so far, besides their game against Pakistan. That was very convincing. But again, the game against the Netherlands and the game against Namibia... No, the game against USA, they should have lost. The USA dropped catch is what won them the game overall. But the game against Namibia, there was poor moments. Netherlands, they beat quite well. But everyone's had a slip up of some sort. Except for maybe South Africa. But then even South Africa against Afghanistan, they should have lost to Afghanistan. And that would have opened that group up wide awake. That would have really opened that group up. But because they were able to get over the line, it just ended the group for Afghanistan and they couldn't get through. But South Africa should have lost that. Afghanistan got so complacent in the last 3 balls. They would have won, but they got run out. And then it went to a super over. And then it went to another super over. And then South Africa won. Jacko says 150 is defendable if you got Jamie Overton. Jacko, I've been waiting for you here, champion. How you feeling? You feeling good, mate? You feeling good, champion? How you feeling, Jacko? English, they're firing on all levels right now. Kraken says, Lord have mercy. My good friend Mr. Kraken. The English have arrived here, ladies and gentlemen. They have arrived. In the it's up in the air. That's up in the air. And Dawson is gone. Slider pointed that way for gate number 16 at London Heathrow. 124 for 7. Liam Dawson gone, but Will Jacks is still there. That's important. That's important. That is a wicket. And they don't have many left here. They do not have many left here. Jacko, Shatija and Seb have been fighting today. They've been fighting between India and England. I haven't even had to do all the heavy lifting here, really. I haven't even had to do any of the heavy lifting here. I've just been relaxing. Just watching some cricket, really. But yeah, we've had a couple of uppercuts. So Jack's on 13, and Overton comes in. you're not really thinking about Overton and his runs and the rest of the runs that come from Overton, Archer, and Rashid. You just need Jacks to be on strike and Jacks to be swinging for the hills. Jacko is as English as they come, Shatij, but also he is a good bloke because he is now a Titans fan. I've convinced him to be a Gold Coast Titans fan. So, he's not bad in that capacity. Seb Watson's also a Titans fan, so he's not bad in that capacity as well. But they are still English, so when it's cricket streams, slap him. When it's Titan streams, then I back him in. Jacko says, thanks, Ben. When's the time I can see an Oz Wicket champion? We might be playing each other, actually, soon enough next week. Yeah. Might be playing in a nice little friendly match in Zimbabwe. Maybe do it in Sri Lanka, because we might both lose to them. Jacko jump ship, come Cowboys. Why the hell would he want to jump ship to go to the damn World Cowboys? Purgatory Central. Seb Watson says you're still unbeaten with Jacko as a fan. Exactly right, Seb. Exactly right. And it's we're still unbeaten, Seb, because you are a Titans fan. It's we're still unbeaten. And that's a swing and a miss. Why is this fraud Overton still in the team? To be honest, his worst time this year actually came in the ODIs rather than the T20, but I'm not a massive fan of the old Jamie Overton. Call them England or World Exile, it's just the same. Actually, yeah, this has been a common theme from Shatij today, Jacko. I want your response to this, because Seb, he responded. What is your response to Shatij calling you guys the World Exile? The World Exile. Still wish Bryden Cast was bowling. Get him in instead of Jamie Overton. .3 overs left here. You want to go back to this, do you? That's a dot ball from Thikshan to Overton. He's keeping him on strike right now. It's a wicket, dot ball, wide, dot ball. Very good over. Yeah, you're right, man. Yeah, this stream's about England and Australia. We've not done anything wrong here, mate. We Australians, we're just trying to survive here, man. I don't know why we're copping any slander. We haven't done anything wrong, mate. Haven't done anything good either, but, we haven't done anything wrong. It's a great over, Smithster. Next bowl from Thikshan, and that will be a single for Overton. And Jacks comes on strike with one ball remaining. 2.1 overs. Can you get 25 runs, 24 runs to get the 50? I don't know if they do, man. Again, Will Jacks can go big, but this bowling from Sri Lanka today has been really, really impressive. It's been really impressive. If you are new here, guys, hit that subscribe button. We're live for every game. And we will be here after the World Cup too. Obviously, Rugby League is our priority content here on the channel, but we are here for every game of the Super 8 and the semi-finals and the final. And then as much cricket as we possibly can afterwards as well in bilateral series of all formats, preferably tests though. So 18 overs down. That's another dot balls. Only the one run off of that over with the wide. So 2 runs, but one given up. It's been very good. Look at that. Overall, there's been no over that's gone above 11 runs. Most overs have been around the 4 to 6. And then in the last 4 overs, you've seen 2 where there was one that was only 1 run, and then this one was 4 runs. Sorry, this one was 2 runs. And the 15th over was just a 1 with a wicket, and this over was just a 2 with a wicket. Kraken says, teams like France in football also have players who don't have French origin. Shit ton of teams in different sports have people from different countries. I don't know what's the issue here. No real issue from me, mate, but as long as it annoys you, I've done my job as an Australian. But Shatij is an Indian, and he just wants to really get India, so I'm letting him go free reign. Letting him go free reign. My responsibility is to make you as frustrated as possible, champion. And don't worry, you guys can get your get back on him in the India game. You just got to hope. You got to hate watch India and go for South Africa. That's on right after this. So there is 11 balls remaining here of the England innings, and that is going to be smashed through 4-4. Will Jacks get some big runs going now? Sebs is one thing we can all agree on is I'd rather anyone win other than India. My worst nightmare would be an Australia versus an India versus England final. I don't think that happens, so it's good. But that would be my worst nightmare because I wouldn't know who to go for. But it would be difficult, even though we've got our rivalry, we've got our banter and all that type of stuff. It's like India would be painful to win because it just would be painful. Not because of we don't have a successful rivalry with them or anything like that. We just have a rivalry with them based off of their annoying fans. With England, it obviously is a traditional thing and it goes back many, many years. I think I'd just take it as a lose-lose situation, to be fair. I'd even... Seb's fired up right now, you can see it. You can see he's fired up. So 18.3, there is 1.3 overs to go here. Ben says, the people in the chat would go unbelievably crazy. It'd be chaotic if that was to happen. Oh, God bless us. Next bolt. That's a good shot. And that is going to go extra cover for a 4. Ah, Mr. Carl. Nah, you're a good English fan, Carl. I can't get into you, mate. I can't get into you, but what's happening? What's happening right now? Luckily, Will Jacks is again saving England in regards to the late part. Yeah, not gone too well here, Carl. Long way to go, though. Sri Lanka did choke when chasing 128 in Pallekele, where this game is, quite literally 2.5 weeks ago, in the third game of the T20I series in the bilateral between England and Sri Lanka. Everyone wants anyone to win other than India. That tells us how good we are when everyone wishes you to lose. Sure, Shatij, you can take our mentality because I feel like I see the entire world still talking about Australia when we got knocked out in the group stage. So you're right, but also don't think you're above Australia in that regards. But sure, that's up in the air. That's up in the air. That's up in the air. Gone. Will Jacks out on 21. They're not making 150. They might not make 150 here. And also, Shatij, it's not because of your success, bro. It's because of the overwhelming amount of people on social media that are extremely annoying. It's not because of the success. For Australia, it's their success. For Australia, it is because of our success in the past. For India, it's a little bit of a different story. 150 is not out of reach to us, but it's very unlikely with who they've got there still. But that is a wicket of Will Jacks. And Sri Lanka, they're fired up as we speak. Full-time story says, I'd love to see England lose any other team but England. See, the thing is with England as well, I feel like it's more to do... Actually, I asked the Aussies, actually, I ask everyone, would you say that people not wanting to see England win is more because of their fans or because of their historical success? Even though the historical success is still less than India, and India is still far less than Australia. But what would you say is the main crux why people wouldn't want England to win? India is not because of the success. It's because of the fans. And Australia, it is because of the success. And you can add the fans in too if you'd like. But at the end of the day, I think it's more so to do with the fact that we've won everything and we're unbelievable. But also, when we do suck, well, fantastic. Then you get back. Not us as fans. I think it probably is. Carl, so I could say we look a batter short, but our batters are just not performing, yeah? But again, Sri Lanka didn't chase down 128 here a couple weeks back. 100% Smithster. India fans aren't fun to banter with for the most part. That's up in the air. That's up in the air. He's gone. That's another wicket. Joffrey Archer has gone for a quack, quack, in a check, quack, 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 in a check, quack, quack, in a check, quack, 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 in a check, quack, quack, duck, 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 goose. Joffrey Archer's gone. And it is 135 for 9. 1 over to go. Madhul Shankar will finish up his spell with a 2 for 25 through 4. Kraken says, cheers, the best player from your country does not even live in a country. First make your own bed, then criticise the world. Oh, this is beautiful right now. No, Smithy, you're right though. It's not usually fun to banter with Indians because all you'll see every single time is either sandpaper or I've slept with your mother. Like, that's literally it. Like, apparently my mother's slept with the entire country of India at this point. And probably my father too, and everyone's my father. You know, Daddy Boomer is apparently my father. You've got Virat Kohli, who's my father. Like, I've got a lot of fathers, to be honest with you. And again, the whole country of India has apparently slept with my mother. So it's not really enjoyable. Like, with England, we get it. Like, it's just the same kind of shit. Like, sometimes it can get fired up, but at the end of the day, we get our banter. But Indians they just want that ego win, rather than taking the piss win. That's why it's not as enjoyable. Jagger says, I banter Indians, no problem, mate. What? That's going to be a dot ball. That's not what we're saying. What do you mean you banter Indians, no problem? That's not what we're saying. David says, so a rained out game, does it make it harder for the teams to get into the semis? Not for New Zealand and Pakistan for mine, actually. Whoever loses this game, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because now England must win. If they lose this game, it's not done yet. But if they were to lose it, they must win their other two games. Indian fans take light-hearted banter personally and turn it nasty. Yeah, unfortunately, I would agree with you. It's all part of it, but I agree with you. They do take it more seriously to us. That's going to be slapped for a single. There is man of boundary. Oh my gosh, they're going to get another run out. No, it's not. They'll get two. So Overton, yeah, that was poor from Sri Lanka. They should have got a wicket there. They'll get 2 runs. So 4 balls to go. Can they get 12 runs? You just say something crazy than what they say. Well, the comments through the Border Gavaskar Trophy last year was, again, the casuals or people who didn't care about cricket in Australia started to watch the Border Gavaskar Trophy just because of how annoying the fans were on our socials. They just went everywhere. Even onto posts that had... I saw Married at First Sight posts having Indian comments about cricket. That's what got a lot of people out to kind of support Australia more than they normally would. Big shot there from Jamie Overton. He'll get a 6, and it's 143 for 9. These runs could be important. They could. Harrison always bets on England, Carl. West Indian and a man of Pakistani origin on the crease for England's rescue. Oh, she's still going. West. Oh, message retracted. Oh, boy. Wait, what? West Indian and a man of Pakistani origin. I'm pretty certain Jamie Overton is about as English as they come, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, mate, but I'm pretty certain you might be wrong here. I'm pretty certain you might be wrong here, man. Sorry, I missed that. Archer's gone. Well, Overton's surely not. Surely Overton's as English as they damn well come. So 19.3, it is 9 for 143. Can they get 7 runs? It would be absolutely massive. I'm just going to scroll this down here so you can see the final 2 batters' scores. There we go. 19.3 in. Jamie Overton, big Caribbean, Caribbean or Caribbean, I don't know. Oh my goodness me. So I'm trying to get this cricket back up here. The game just shut off. Mahatma Coat was a legend. No, he's Nigerian, yeah. Jamie Overton, big Nigerian, man. What a man. What an absolute fiery character he is. Dude, how good is this India versus England in the chat right now? How good is it? Oh, it's too funny. Just as we're about to get into the... At least you guys are going to get time to cool off and go get a drink for 15 minutes when the break is about to come up here. At least you'll get that little bit of respite to load yourself up for the second innings as Sri Lanka will be chasing. Oh, by the way, there is a review lost here for Sri Lanka. A review lost. Piyush said it's not Indian as the population density and availability of internet for everyone is the reason. Others think Indians say something, but in reality it's just a minority of population. No, exactly right, Piyush. No, when we say what we're saying here, right? When we're talking, I'm not saying... I've been to India. I was in India for 2.5 months. I know that it's not everyone. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to the cricket fans, it is an overwhelming amount because you've got to remember the the fact that it's not everyone for India, you have 1.3 billion people in your country, right? Whilst in Australia, we have 26 million people in our country, and we have like 1% of those people who actually care about cricket, whilst in India, a very large majority of people care about cricket. So your limited amount of people is far exceeding probably our country size, like far exceeding it. And again, we only have this many people who actually care about it from that population. So that's why it seems extremely overwhelming for countries like even England, Australia, definitely New Zealand, South Africa. There's so many Indian people that it makes it so much louder. But you understand that. It's not saying that literally everybody is like this, but just for us, it's an overwhelming, amount of people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Carl says, I won't even get to watch it, Steel City Derby tonight. The next one, are you talking about the next game? Oh, what are you talking about? It's Indian cricket banter worse online or real life? Oh, no. In regards to banter, it's way worse online. In person, they wouldn't give it too much, I don't think. Not in India. They'd respect that you actually travel to India. But maybe in Australia or when they're at Australian games, because Australians do give it. Like, we give it. You can't pretend we don't. Same thing with England. We give it. So, no, I'm not disrespecting the entirety of India. Oh, anyway, that's the end. That is the end of the English innings, and Sri Lanka need 147 runs to win. So they got all out. No, they didn't get all out. It was 9 wickets, but 147 runs is what Sri Lanka need. England finish on 146. I don't think it's going to be enough. I just don't think they're going to get enough here, the English. Sri Lanka should chase this down, but 2.5 weeks ago, Sri Lanka played England in a 3-game T20I bilateral series here at Pallekele, and Sri Lanka failed to chase 128. They got all out for 116. This game is not over yet. This is still primetime cricket. We're in the Super 8s. Fire up. It's going to be a big one. Guys, I'm going to quickly go to the bathroom, wash my face, fire up for the second innings, go take a chill pill, come back. We'll be back in about 5-10 minutes' time, and we'll get it all going again. So hit that like button and subscribe. I'll be back in just a few moments. Oh, I can see it's still firing up in the chat. Oh, I can see that it is still firing up in the chat here, but we are just waiting for Sri Lanka to come back out so that they can try and chase down 147 for a big opening game win of this Super 8 group. Obviously, last night's Pakistan versus New Zealand game was abandoned without a ball bowled. So that meant that they go to 1 point each. And the loser of this game are in a super, super tough spot. So, England need to bowl well. Sri Lanka, they will definitely fancy themselves chasing this score down. We were expecting a par of 180, and England did not even get 150. So, Sri Lanka will fancy themselves massively. But, 2.5 weeks ago or so, just before the World Cup started, England played Sri Lanka in a 3-game T20I series in Palakelli. And Sri Lanka failed to chase 128. So just though that's not over just yet. But again, Sri Lanka will fancy themselves. So hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And I'm gonna get back to the chat here, which I can still see is England versus India in the chat. Oh man, Sister says Indians have developed a keen interest in Pattaya lately. They're for the temples, I guess. No. Why is that the first comment that I've had to read? Boundary ball there, you missed a good chance. Oh, sorry, that's all the way back there. Stealing talent as if we airlift and kidnap people and force them to play for England. Everyone says also in the Super Race, how many teams qualify for each group? Only 2 each side, man, and then we'll get the semi-finals. So, say, for example, Sri Lanka and New Zealand qualify, right? Or Sri Lanka and Pakistan, whoever. Even if you want to go England versus and New Zealand. Whoever qualifies, it will be whoever comes first will play the second place of the South Africa, India, Zimbabwe, and West Indies group. Zimbabwe play the West Indies tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that game, actually. But whoever comes first in this group will play the second placer of the other group, and whoever comes second will play the first placer of the other group. The grouping in Super 8 is so bad. All strong teams in one group. It's not fair for Zimbabwe and West Indies. What? Why? Why? At the end of the day, if you want to win the World Cup, you got to go through the best. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. I don't think that you should ever be complaining about what group you're in, because if you're in the Super 8s, you should be saying that you're a good enough cricket team to win. I don't think that that's a winning mentality, man. I think that if you are going to win the World Cup, which is ultimately what you're here for, then you should want to thrive playing under the big teams. You should thrive under it. Brent says 68% homes, but how many of them are brothels? You don't have much to speak for even when we discuss cricket. Kraken says, Shatij, this is what drinking Nutella shake does to you. Not 68% of homes in London are owned by Indians. 71% Indians who lived in London have their own homes. Please get help. Oh, boy. Disclaimer's a funny one. Oh boy. Kraken's really ripping in now. Throw an uppercut. Damn, I was really hoping it would. Oh, Brenton, this has been some real kind of show here. But Sri Lanka, they are walking out. If you get Pathum Nasanka early, now remember it took him like 5 overs to get to just 32 runs. I think they were 32 after 5 overs, and then they started losing wickets. That's where Sri Lanka just need to be above 32 by 5, and they're obviously in the lead. But 7.35 runs per over is what they need. You would be fancying Sri Lanka right now. You would. Camille Machar and Pathum Nasanka will be the ones. I want to see what the wind viz has it at, because I don't think this is the pitch, man. I really don't. Yeah, live probability has Sri Lanka at 80%. 80%. All right, guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Get into the chat. Let us know your thinking. Let us know if you think Sri Lanka can find a way to win at 147, or if the England can hold out at 146. Pathum Nasanka, control 68, innovation 80, power 78. He powered past Australia, that's for sure. England, do you want us to get you a cup of coffee at the airport so that when you come, you've already got it waiting for you? Maybe that's the case. Mishara, control 58, acceleration 81. I didn't get to see the other one. Jofra Archer to bowl. Yeah, Nisanka's not really someone that you can bully with a short ball either. I don't know how England are going to play this bowling-wise. But if you get Nisanka early, then it is absolutely all on. And this is the power play. Go through the pre-match chat of the Titans game. You'll see I picked the exact margin of 30 points. What? One, I'm not going to be going back through the chat. But also, two, it would have been a complete and utter guess from you regardless. Because statistically, there was nothing that was ever aligning to that. So that would have just been a complete and utter guess. But I'm also not going to waste my time going back to look at the pre-game chat of yesterday to prove you right or wrong. I'll be straight up with you there, man. So Archer will bowl a dot ball here. Let me open up the Sri Lanka. Let me open up Sri Lanka's batting after this next bowl from Archer. And that will be a dot ball. And there we go. Put that across there. Rockin' and rollin'. Yeah, mate. You know everything there is to know about rugby league, Smitster. I'll give it to you. It's really special stuff. Like, I'm really impressed with your rugby league knowledge, mate. Is that what you want me to tell you? Is that what you want me to hear? Is that what you're after right now? So 2 dot balls here, though. Good opening from Jofra. Hasn't been fantastic in this World Cup. Next bowl to Nisanka. Oh, big swing and a big miss. Dot ball. Lagan says, really lazy of you players. Go spend 20 minutes looking for the exact comment of a game that is done and over. Do better, honestly. It's piss poor. Yeah, exactly right. I know it's just the preseason, so preseason does mean the most overall, really. You know, Titans came second. Smith says, someone go through the chat. If I'm lying, I'll buy everyone in the chat a membership. Well, someone can do it then. I'm not doing it. But if someone wants to go back and have a look to see if Smithster did say that comment, then they can do that. And then he said he'll buy everyone in chat a membership. That's going to go for a single for Nisanka. And he'll be on 1. Spencer, can you give me the top 4 end of the season I can get the money on? So end of season is now. So it's Parramatta, Titans, Tigers, and I think Cowboys or something like that, mate. That's what the final will finish up at. What was the comment? Apparently he said that the Titans would win by 30, Jay. That was the comment. I think Jay's going to go and look. He's actually going to go and look here. Most runs in the T20 World Cup so far. Nisanka with 200. He is in number 2. Farhan, Sahibzada Farhan with 220 for Pakistan. So Nisanka just needs 20 plus runs. Oh, that might be a wide. No, it is going to be just a good bowl here. So this has been a great over from Archer. Good over. He was telling the truth, Shane. Well, there you go. So 0.5 overs down. Like I said, regardless if he said this or not, it was not for any purpose, just except for the fact that he was just backing him in. Because there is no world that anyone picks this on a legitimate level. That's a big swing. That might be a wide. Yep, that's a wide. If Jay looks and doesn't find it, might be hidden from here forever, so I hope you're right. So Jay might go and delete it. No, on the Titan stream yesterday, Jay. Oh, that was actually probably a good ball, I reckon. You're looking at that in slow-mo. Yeah, Joffrey's not happy. I didn't know if it's false. No, he said that he'd buy everyone a membership in the chat. Smithson set 1 membership. Get her in, Smithster. And Jay Hayes. That's going to go for a single for Mashara. He'll be on 1. 3 for nothing in the first over. Good stuff from England, though. But Jay Hayes is the one gifted a membership of all people. The one who was going to try and prove him wrong. He ain't lying. No, I'm not surprised. He wouldn't say that he'd go and buy a membership for everyone in the chat if he was lying. But that doesn't change the conversation that I said, where he didn't actually predict it. He just threw out a big score like that, and luckily enough for him, it came off. Ironically, it's to Jay. Yeah, exactly right. The cruel irony. That's how it works, man. Well, you could have had Jay, you could have had Shatish. Which one would you have preferred there, Smithster? Shatish, are you still kicking, by the way? Or did the English get to you? Or maybe he's in the cold shower to calm down after a fiery first innings. Or maybe Shatish is just waiting for his moment. He's waiting for his moment when, oh my gosh, I thought it was going to be a wicket there, but it is going to be a 4 for Mishara. It will be a 4 for Mishara. But geez, that was close to a catch. Seb Watson says, Jay, buy your own membership, you cat. Seb, you don't even have a membership. You haven't even bought a membership. What are you talking about? Why don't you go buy your own membership, you cat? Everyone in the chat has ridiculed me at some stage, so it's all the same to me. No, of course it is. We get into everybody, right? Everyone can get it. Don't worry, it's not just a you thing. I know, and this is the thing that people always feel. They feel like when the chat's going and whatnot, that because they notice it more when it's on them. But trust me, this happens for everyone. Lagan has copped it a million times, but he deserves it too. That is going to be a double. Brent says, if he gets hidden after buying membership, that'd be hilarious. Well, he did buy a membership yesterday and said, well, this isn't going to get me. I can't get timed out when I've got a membership then. And I timed him out immediately. I timed him out straight away. Next bowl from Will Jacks. That's going to be swung on, and that's going to go straight to, I think, Jacob Bethel there. 1.4 overs down. Freedom of speech. Who is she? Next bolt. Swing, and it will be another dot ball. Good over here from Will Jacks besides that early boundary. They're just waiting. They're waiting to the third and the fourth over, really, I would say, Sri Lanka, because this is really slow. Maybe it is the pitch here. Why are my comments getting deleted? I haven't seen any of your comments get deleted. I'll scroll up. Maybe YouTube is hiding them. Hold on, I'll refresh the live chat. I can't see any of your comments. Maybe it's YouTube, bro, because I can't literally see any of your comments right now. I haven't seen your comment once. And I've refreshed my chat. Usually that does the job. Decent start. Just waiting for over to concede 560,000 runs in an over now. I can't see anything either. Yeah, I feel like YouTube is just hiding it itself. Maybe it's just YouTube doing its YouTube things. But 2 overs down. Jofra Archer will come in for a bolt. How is that to tell a shake? Next bolt. Swing and top ball. Good fielding. They're not having it easy right now, Sri Lanka, and getting these runs. Again, it was about 32 runs for England after 5 overs. YouTube lurking the show. No, it's like YouTube's had updates recently where it's withholding comments from live chat, and you have to like refresh the live chat if it deems that it's weird, like different. If it deems that it's offensive or something like that, I don't know. Swing, and that goes for a 4. Good shot from Nisanka. Good shot from Nisanka. 11 runs for nothing through 2.2. Nisanka tournament 4s. He has got 22. Said something nice. I don't know if you did, Serial. I don't know if you did. We'll say it again then. Say it again so that we can see it. And if it goes through, then we know it wasn't that. Who were you insulting? Were you insulting me, Shatish, Jay, Kraken, Seb? Oh, that's going to be knocked in behind for another 4. Well done, Nisanka. With a couple of boundaries here on Jofra Archer. 11 runs. He's given up through 1.3. Had a great first over, but this second over now, he's given up 8 runs already with 3 balls to go. That's 1,058 tournament 4s as well. Like I said, if Nisanka can get past the 20 runs here today, he actually goes into the high scorer for the tournament currently. Just helps it on his way. Jofra back to complaining. I don't know if we're insanely surprised. Couldn't be Jofra. You can't buy memberships in the UK, old mate. Said that the other day. I tried a few times. Oh, yeah, fair enough, said. Even you know that I wasn't being serious anyway, mate. Like, if you support the channel, great. If you don't, then it is what it is. I'm never going to force anybody to buy a membership, man. But yeah, that's crazy. You can't buy a membership in the UK. Oh, that's a massive shot. But he's out the boundary. Oh, I thought that was a massive shot. I thought that was going for a 6, but that is going to be out in the boundary. Massive wicket early here. Patham Nasanka gone on 9. And the Sri Lankans, they're not finding it easy right now. They are not finding it easy as we currently speak. Jofra Archer puts one there that should have been sent, but Nasanka doesn't get the power behind it, and it will be caught out in the boundary by Jamie Overton. And the wicket comes. The breakthrough's there. 15 for 1 through 2.4. That's a big wicket, man. That's their best batter. That is a big wicket. And he won't get to the 20 as well to get to the highest run score in the tournament so far. All right. Well, that's throwing a bit of a spanner in the works, hasn't it? It's really slow batting from both these teams today. I just didn't expect it looking at this pitch. Maybe we don't know how to read the pitch like we all thought. But like everyone's been talking about it. The players were talking about it. The commentary's been talking about it. Literally everyone's been talking about how this was expected to be a pretty strong pitch for batting. You don't need best batters to come to the party against England, Shatish says. Well, sure, but like they're really slow right now. Like it's really slow going. Sri Lanka is struggling. This tournament needs a thriller. Well, yeah, because the group stages, whilst it had some really close underdog results and there were some really close games to a thriller, we didn't really get a pure thriller. Obviously, this is where you usually expect it from, though. Starmer's getting an email for not allowing memberships. Exactly right. That's going to be a dot ball. Yeah, Starmer is a big fan of free speech. Yes, Serial. So obviously you're saying something that YouTube doesn't like because I can't see another one, any of your other comments except for you saying that your comment were deleted. So yes, that double super over game was the highlight. Yeah, that double over super over game was the big one so far. Pakistan, Netherlands as well. Sri Lanka versus Australia. For anyone who wasn't an Australian, it would have been awesome to watch. That's a nice shot. That's out for a 4. Beautiful. Shouldn't say that's out. It's gone for a 4 there. Gone is another bad word to use. That's slap for a 4. There you go. Take that. It's a boundary. 19 for 1 through 3 overs. So they only need about 13 runs in the next 2 overs to emulate what England were doing at the same time. And I think England lost a wicket around that 32 run mark. Yeah, the double super over game was amazing. Everyone says, Serial, put gaps in between each words. That will do the trick. I'm starting to think if he's actually been serious or not. Well, YouTube probably does hate you because your name is Serial Impregnator. So that's a very interesting name. I don't know if YouTube's going to be on the side of Serial Impregnator, if you know what I mean. That's going to be a single. I'll scamper through for it. Maybe, Jay. 20 for 1 through 3.1. Yeah, it is a good atmosphere at the moment. At least the rain has held out, man, which is great to see. Yeah, the bleachers are look at the crowd at the moment. The people are just hanging off of the sides. They're hanging off of the sides at the moment. And now this bloke's got a trumpet. They've got a couple of trumpets there. Will Jacks is going to get dot ball hit. Oh, it'll be a dot ball. Crux says, you know, Shatish, if my country was good at only one sport and lost a World Cup final on home soil when all the odds are on their side, I'd never say anything about the performance of any other team. Oh, that's a catch. That's a catch. Kusal is gone. And this is very, very hard for Sri Lanka at the moment. 20 for 2. Will Jacks picks up a wicket, 1 for 5. How good. Australia just got complimented by an Englishman there to slap down an Indian. How good. We just got a compliment from an Englishman on a little bit of a side pass compliment while he's insulting the Indian cricket team. Mate, Australians, we're flying, dude. We are flying at the moment. But that is another wicket, and England are well and truly back in this game now. Well and truly back in this game. Sri Lanka. Right now, you've still got a lot to do. Kraken just can't stop giving it to Satish. Well, he did ask for it. Satish did beg for the English to come at him before. He was cracking on with them. So he says, how many women did you impregnate exactly? I don't know if they were women specifically. I'm not too sure with old mate. He'll probably say his comment's been hidden as well from that one. Asking because my son is unusually tanned and I'm a ginger. So 2 wickets down for the Sri Lankans. England fans, are you feeling confident, or do you feel like this is just a good early start? Not sure this is going as well as Satish was hoping for it to go. Well, the thing is that he come in, he's tried to give the English a slap during an English stream. Of course, you're going to have more English fans here and we don't really have a massive amount of an Indian following here, but that's because a lot of India doesn't actually speak English. Still, a lot of people who do speak English, but you know, Indians usually will kind of go towards those Hindi channels or the Urdu channels. Probably a heap of Tamil channels as well. I've got Sri Lanka with the crowd bringing them home. Well, they didn't. They lost all 3 games to England at home. When they played each other at Pallekele, they lost all 3 games to England. So, yeah, I don't know about that, man. This Sri Lankan crowd doesn't necessarily prove to be a huge draw for Sri Lanka's results. All right, so, oh my gosh, it's another wicket. It's Pavan Rathnayake out for a duck. Sri Lanka are now 3 wickets down immediately. Wowee. Well, Sri Lanka have just gone and hit shit creek without a paddle. 20 for 3 is insane. Sri Lanka just, when they come up against England here, it's not hard chases, but they just make it impossible for themselves. They make it impossible for themselves, man. Oh yeah, this would be a hat-trick ball here for Will Jacks. It would be a hat-trick ball. This would be a big old hat-trick ball for Will Jacks. I did say that I've really liked him in this tournament. It was more so on the batting rather than the bowling. And this isn't usually the spin pitch. Usually the spin pitch is down the road at Apramatasa Stadium. Not hearing much now. You're hearing plenty here, Jacko. You're hearing plenty here, son. Yeah, no, I'm going to cry. If England win this game tonight, I might not get any sleep, to be honest with you. I might really struggle to get any sleep, Jacko. But also, there is a long way to go in this game. However, Sri Lanka are not looking at goods. They are just really struggling at the moment. They don't look good at all as we speak. At all. And they're currently on a hat-trick ball. Nope, there will be a dot ball and a single. Sorry, it's just been, my stream has been completely skipping. So I missed that dot ball and a run. No, keep it. Oh, okay. I am Nepali, Mr. Wait, what are you saying there with that? I know what you've put a space in, but why are you saying that? Why are you saying Mr. Grooming Gang? If we lose AI anyway, or it's because Harris are better on us, it's probably AI and also. But Sri Lanka are 21 for 3. At this stage, England were 21 for 1. So they're both the same, just with some extra wickets here for the Sri Lankans. So 21 for 3 through 4 overs. They must have had a pretty big over here then, England. That's going to be a dot ball. That will be a dot ball there. Yeah, the wickets are falling. What are you going to do from here, Sri Lanka? This has just been an absolute shit show. I don't understand what he's saying, though. I am Nepali Mr. Grooming Gang. What does that even mean? Am I crazy here? Or am I just completely missing the context of that? Oh, swing and a miss. Yeah, I'm probably going to remember. I don't know what he's actually saying, though. Can someone explain to me in the chat? Mate, what am I like an innocent mind? And what am I missing here? I don't know what I'm missing there. Not reading it properly. But yeah, we'll get rid of him in the channel. So Archer next bowl here. Maybe I'm just dumb. And that will go through for maybe that'll just be a single. 4.3 overs down, 22 for 3. Oh, so he's saying that, what, he's calling us all in reference to the Epstein Island stuff? Is that what he's referring to? As if, like, we're all like that? Is that really what he was saying? Oh, yeah, that's pretty lowbrow banter. That's not even good. That's average. That's super average shit. All right, so 4.3. One, that's Americans and Israeli stuff. That's not to do with us. Why did we get slanted there? Wait, what happened? 4.4. Or maybe, Ibrahim, did you say something about like India or something as a collective, and then maybe he's taken that as like, oh, you're just seeing everyone the same, so I'll say every white person's the same. Even though that whole situation involves like everyone in the world, really. So I shouldn't say we're not. Everyone is. Oh, that's out. That's 22 for 4. Sri Lanka are playing awfully here. They are playing absolutely awfully. We're going to move on for that conversation. Sri Lanka are playing absolutely awfully in the batting, and it's 22 for 4. Archer with a wicket. Sri Lanka have collapsed massively here. They have collapsed. Why is Mishara not leaving here? And he's saying that maybe he doesn't catch it? He definitely catches that ball. He definitely catches that ball. So that is 22 for 4, and now the win viz is surely going to be like 86% now to England. How have you thrown this away, Sri Lanka? How have you thrown this? Yeah, it's 81% for England now. It was 81% for Sri Lanka. Now it's 81% for England. How have you thrown this? How have you thrown this? Leave you melt. Kick rocks. What are you talking? What's happening in the chat? Am I not seeing things in the chat right now? Oh, unless you're talking about the Sri Lankan player. Oh, okay, yeah. I thought Old Mate had come back. I was like, I already hit him from the channel. I was like, I can't see Old Mate in the chat. It's just going all haywire at the moment. But now I realise you're talking about the Sri Lankan player. No, he is off. Kamindu Mendes, mate, you need to save your team right now. You need to save your team. Too good from Jofra. Sri Lanka have just been awful. Yeah, no, I get you now, Jacko. I realised you afterwards. That's just got everyone rattled there. So, next bowl from Jofra Archer, final ball of the over. Who turns it up here for Sri Lanka now? That will go through for a 4, and you need those. So, Kamindu Mendes gets off with a great start, and he'll get a boundary. 26 for 4. You needed that boundary desperately. Desperately. How is this pitch right now? Someone explain to me how this pitch is tough for batting. How have we found this pitch is tough for batting? It doesn't look like a tough batting pitch. Jesus, where's your ditch? 150 isn't defendable. Well, it's like this pitch doesn't look like it should be defendable, to be fair to him. But also I understand why you're going back at him. Like, it doesn't look like it should be defendable here. But this is why I kept saying, like, Sri Lanka didn't get 128. a couple weeks back. 9-6-4 and a duck. Yikes. Will Jacks next bowl. They need to take some risks here, and that's going to go for a 4. They need these. Watchalong will get a 4, and it will be 30 for 4 through 5.1. So they're adding a very similar amount of runs to what England had, but just with a lot more wickets. You need a big miracle here, really. Good 4. That's back-to-back boundaries for him. Next bolt. Swing and a miss. No. That's going to go for another 4. Well, he swung and a miss. I think this is leg buys. I feel like that's leg buys. I could be wrong, but it's another 4 regardless. No, that is actually going to come off the bat there. Hold on. Did I completely get that wrong? Oh, yeah, no. Just off the glove. Off the glove. That will go back for a 4. And Sri Lanka getting some good runs in these last couple of balls. Come on, have a belter of a game. I don't care if England win or Sri Lanka win. Just let it go down to the final over. Like that Nepal versus England game. That was awesome. Let it happen again. All right, so 113 more runs from 88 balls. The runs aren't the concern. It's the wickets that are concerned right now. And that will be a dot ball. 2 boundaries you needed to fight back from it. At least you got that dot ball. Sri Lanka still firing up in the crowd, though, at the very least. I haven't given up on their team just yet. He's come up the pitch at that, and he's missed. Well, he's got it, but it's a dot ball. He's missed what he wanted. How good. I've got a coconut coffee on the way right now. It's coming on away, because we've got a massive India-South Africa after this. We've got a massive India-South Africa game after this. Swing. That is going to be out. Well, this game's over, guys. 34 for 5. Unfortunately, you're not going to get an exciting match because Sri Lanka's batting has just played really stupid. Like, this has been really stupid batting. Like, what is that shot? Like, what is that shot from Watchalong? What is that shot? That is absolutely horrific there from Watchalong. This game's going to be over quickly. Kraken says Lions. Hold that. Well, this is all kinds of bother. There's no way Sri Lanka win from here now. What's the lowest score we've seen in T20 World Cup history? What is the lowest T20 World Cup score in history? Uganda versus West Indies was 39. Uganda suffered a humiliating collapse against West Indies at Providence, being bowled out for just 39 and 12 overs. How do you get 39 and 12 overs? 12 overs, lowest total in T20 World Cup history. Let's have a look at the top 10 teams with the lowest scores in T20 World Cup. So Uganda 39, Netherlands 39 versus Sri Lanka at Chattogram. Uganda, oh my gosh, don't let them come back into the competition. 40 off of had a run rate at 2.14 against New Zealand in Tarouba. Lost 9 wickets. Netherlands, how did they lose only by 9 wickets, by the way, with that? Netherlands 44 against Sri Lanka. Oman 47 against England. West Indies 55 against England. Afghanistan 56 against South Africa. Uganda 58 against Afghanistan. New Zealand 60 against Sri Lanka. And Scotland 60 against Afghanistan. Taylor says spin shady. No, Will Jacks has been good, mate. No, he's been real good here. Someone says, we smacked Jacks around in the Ashes. How they're letting a part-timer get 3. Will Jacks has actually been probably their best consistent player in this World Cup so far. Gary says, have you got any sleep? No, really, mate. I'm always streaming. That's why we're always open. Not the pitch you should be 5 down inside the power play. It is not the pitch that this should be like this, but at the end of the day, it is like this. It is happening. The internet. Give me one moment, and we are back on. Okay, sweet. Sorry, guys. For some reason, my internet just cut out, but we are back now. We are back. Let me just refresh this chat. Okay, beautiful. These are the last 2 recognised batsmen, right? Pretty much, man. Pretty much. Okay, let me just refresh everything so that everything's moving along again. Well, at least we've got. At least we're probably going to have a bit of a break before the next game. At least we're going to get that. I thought it was my internet. No, it wasn't your internet. It was mine. I'm actually moving to a different place on Tuesday. I've got 2 more nights here. Been here for a month. I've got 2 more nights here, and then I'm off down the road to a different apartment here in Ho Chi Minh. If Kamindu gets out before 70 runs, Sri Lanka are definitely gone then. Duraz, Sri Lanka should be gone now. 5 wickets for 34. Are we serious? We still giving them a chance here? Anything can happen in cricket. We could see an absolute miracle, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt we're going to be seeing anything of that kind of sort. Next bowl, and that will be a double. Shorty's BKR is on the old dial-up again. Yeah, on the old dial-up. No, it's actually usually pretty good internet, but why is it always cricket streams that we have problems? It's always cricket streams. That'll be a single. 112 from 82. It's any team that could lose it from here. We know who it is. Yep, we do know who that would be. The last competitive game I remember this World Cup was Portugal versus Afghanistan. Well, Australia versus Sri Lanka was, but it's just that Australia still tanked it up like an absolute dog shit performance in that bowling, and we did see Pathum Nissanka go crazy. But the last big game, yeah, would have been that South Africa versus Afghanistan game. That will be a single here, so 36 for 5, 36.3. Hopefully India, South Africa is better than this. Well, hopefully Sri Lanka can surprise us and they can turn it on right now. I doubt it, though. Yeah, 181 is still a competitive score, sir, but it's just not as high as it should have been. Is what I'm referring to with the Australia versus Sri Lanka game. I can just see what the chat will be like for that South Africa-India game. I can just see it already, man. God help us. 6.4 overs down. Next bowl. And that's going to be a single. I mean, they chase it in 18 overs, which loses the competitiveness. Sure, but it was still 181, and it was still overall a competitive game because it wasn't until the final over of their innings when they just started whacking it and getting sixes. Like, it was massive from Pathum Nissanka. He just ended it basically in the 7/8 over, and otherwise it was still looking like it was somewhat maybe doable, but then it just got blown apart. It should be a fun stream. Oh, Gary, you missed out on what happened before in this chat. We had a war between England and India. Kshitij was taking on the whole country of England in this chat. He was taking them all on. And right now he's probably feeling it in the fact that he knows the English have got the ego win here with this game so far. But I could only imagine if England was still struggling in this game, Kshitij would be still well into your lot. He'd still be well into it. Kraken was giving him some massive uppercuts. 110 from 78 is what's needed. The worst case scenario for Kshitij is England winning this and then India losing to South Africa. That would be a nightmare. That would be an absolute nightmare for Kshitij. He fought the whole bar. He did, and kudos to him. He gave it a crack. Like, at the end of the day, it's not easy to do that. He tried to take on the world. The world slapped him, but he tried to take on a world, and it takes courage to do that. But, Jay, you did miss all of us white people apparently being called Epstein in the chat. I had to hide someone before. While you're on BIB, we did see someone drop a comment like that. And that's going to be a single here. Lagancy got slapped, but it's the effort that makes you. It's the effort that makes you. See, Kshitij, you get the respect. See, you got the respect there from the effort. You're definitely a freshie on a scene, but it's the effort that counts. That's what matters. 38 for 5 through 7.3. Kamindu, you need to be the big man. Why do we keep on picking Overton in the team over Tongue or Wood? It's a great question. I'd be taking Tongue. Oh, big shot, big shot, big shot. And that is going to be a 6 for Shanaka. That's a 6. That's what they need desperately. Get the crowd going again. Get the crowd going again. That is a 6. That's 44 for 5. They need the crowd on their side. They haven't been on their side for a little bit. You missed my toe Nutella shake comment at the innings break. Yeah, I missed a few, but I could see that it was still firing in the chat. I like cricket streams as well because we can stray away and talk about random shit. Yeah, because cricket goes for a lot longer than NRL. Rugby league, you're on the task the whole time because the game is very much just straight through. That's a dot ball. Good ball. I agree. I don't rate Overton. Wood is injured, but Tongue is a good shout. Yeah, I'm taking. Yeah, Wood is injured. I'm taking Tongue. I thought he was unbelievable in the Ashes. Next bolt. That will be a single. You know what? I respect the Sri Lanka fans right now. They're cheering as if they still believe there's a sniff here. 45 for 5 through 8 overs. 102 from 72 is not bad. It's not the runs that matter. It is the wickets that matter. But are you going to do an Arsenal or are you going to do a City here? Which one are you going to do? Are you going to bottle it, England? Or are you going to power home strong late? What was it? Old mate's comment, whose comments weren't going through? Yes, Jay, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. I didn't even understand his comment at first. I didn't understand what he was saying, but then unfortunately, yeah, he said something that I didn't even get. But the chat said, yeah, this guy needs to... Seb goes, yeah, he probably needs to go. And I was like, well, what's he actually saying? I don't get it. But then I realised that he was just trying to assume that we're all like that. I don't even know what kind of suggested it, like why he reacted like that way to. It was Ibrahim. It was saying it to Ibrahim too. I don't know what he did. Gary says big game this afternoon, Blaze. Big game this afternoon. Are you talking about India, South Africa, or are you talking about this game? I'm sure you're not talking about Rabbitohs Manly. It's an awful game. It's awful. I don't know what you did, Ibrahim. You tell me. You tell me, man. He was messaging you that. In regards to the island stuff and grooming or whatever. He was saying that to you, and that's what I was confused. I don't know what you did, but you said something that pissed him off, obviously. Oh, Spurs versus ours. Mate, Gary, up with Spurs, mate. I'm a big Spurs fan. Massive Spurs. I'm also a massive coconut coffee fan. Huge coconut coffee. Oh, it's a 6 from Kamindu. He smacked that for Coconut Coffee Central. It is a 6 from Kamindu, and maybe, just maybe, the Sri Lankans have a sneaky little bit of chance here. Maybe, just maybe. Hello, Coconut Coffee Central. That is a 6-a-mundo. Ireland was superb yesterday. We were awful, deserved to get slapped. Oh no, I didn't even see that. Oh no, you didn't. You didn't. Oh no, I didn't even know about the rugby. I didn't even know about the rugby. Oh, and just as you're about to get going, Sri Lanka, it's another wicket. Kamindu's gone. Just as you're about to get going, the wicket's gone. Oh man, come on. That's a soft dismissal there. Dawson. Oh, there's no way you do. Like, that is some just bad cricket here from Sri Lanka. It's all Ibrahim's fault. It is all Ibrahim's fault. It is. Have a word to yourself, Ibrahim. I don't know what you did, but you did something. Have a word to yourself. Come on. Dun dun dun. 250 will be a breeze. You watch lots of sport off stream as well? I do, yeah. Like, I watch my cubbies. When the regular season's on, I won't watch the spring training. I'll watch, obviously, the Geelong Cats and a bit of the Sunnies, but, you know, Cats are my team from long before the Suns existed. With that being said, I'd like to see the Sunnies win because I've seen Cats win. Obviously, I watch Manchester City as they're chasing down. And what else? I watched a bit of Chicago Bulls, but I haven't been watching a lot of Bulls lately because they piss me off a lot. They piss me off a great deal. Like, I fume watching Bulls games. I fume. Detroit Lions aren't on right now. But yeah, I watch everything, man. With that being said, though, I do also have a life outside of it. So a lot of the time I'll watch highlights, but I won't watch a full 3 4 hour, 3.5 hour baseball game unless I'm on like an off day or something where I'm chilling out a lot more than streaming. Because if I'm streaming 3 4 games a day, there's no way I'm able to watch another sporting game. I apologise for something I did. Don't know what I did, but I'm deeply sorry, mate. I hid him from the channel, man. So it doesn't matter. That's going to be a single here for Hamantha. 53 for 6. What an absolute shit show here. He also supports the Thailand Ladyboys, but he never misses that. No. That's Shauno. That's Shauno and Smithster. That's the dynamic duo of Pattaya and Thailand with the Ladyboys. So that's those two. They're the dynamic duo. I believe Shauno actually wears his Batman suit and Smithster wears his Robin suit when they go out in the town. So 94 runs from 66 balls, but they've only got 4 wickets left. What a shit show. I just don't get how it's been this bad. Like, how have you fallen this bad? It's not like the bowling has been exceptional from England. Look at the 2 wickets. There's been so many soft dismissals here. It's like they just thought they'd already won the game. They just thought they'd already won. They thought 150 would just be a breeze, Jacko, you know? They thought it would just be an absolute breeze. Adil Rashid will come in for his first bowl. You're not going to get many runs off of him. Not going to get many runs off of him. Where we? So next bowl will be a dot ball. BKR Coke no sugar next time. Coke no sugar next time? What are you talking about? It says, also, the only Chelsea game I stay up for, they drew with Burnley. Sorry, Jacko. Don't be sorry. It's fine. Can you stay up for plenty more Arsenal games? Well, that's going to be a single. We beat Sri Lanka 3-0 before the World Cup. I thought after their win against Australia, they would walk over us. Australia's T20 team was poorly selected. It was just horrific all round, man. You should never have thought the Sri Lanka... I did tip England to win this game. But yeah, you did beat them 3-0, and that's why I still had confidence that England would win this game, because Sri Lanka failed to chase 128 literally 2.5 weeks ago here in Pallekele against England. Do they do pig on the spit and V it? Probably they would. You don't see a whole deal around here in Ho Chi, but you would. And that's going to be knocked in behind for a 2. Does maybe Sri Lanka got confidence from bashing an inexperienced Oz bowling lineup? Well, Sri Lanka did lose to Zimbabwe, and they didn't actually do too well against... Look, if you think about it, realistically, what won them the game against Australia was Pathum Nissanka, because Pathum Nissanka got 100. That's what won him the game. It wasn't an incredible batting performance overall. The other guys didn't go for too much, but Pathum Nissanka did well. To be fair, that's probably harsh to say that. They were good. With that being said, like, Nissanka 100, that was the key. Chances England lose to both New Zealand and Park? It's going to be tough. It's a lot tougher than Sri Lanka. New Zealand would have won this game with ease if this is how England played. Pakistan probably would have won this game. It's just that Sri Lanka just have been all overshot. But yeah, I would say that if England play like this against those guys, they'll lose. But they've just got the wood over Sri Lanka at the moment. England will beat Pakistan probably, and New Zealand probably beat England. I agree with New Zealand, but I also disagree with you saying that England will beat Pakistan. How do you think that they're going to go against their restrictive bowling in the middle order in the middle part of the game when they're struggling here against Sri Lanka? You think that England are going to be able to pump hold on one second here. I know you can hear me. Okay. What I was saying was, Jacko, is that, yeah, if he didn't make that 100, they would have been on 80. These are the things, the crucial things you got to think about in life. That's a swing, and that is a single. Fun fact, since 2025, South Africa has played more games in Ahmedabad Stadium than India. Why? What? Oh, because they've played all three of their games. Because they played all three of their games at Ahmedabad in this tournament. That'll be a single. Over here in England, no pundits give England a chance against Sri Lanka. Why? Well, they're not watching then. Why do they not give you a chance against Sri Lanka, but yet when you come over for an Ashes series, they all say fucking 5-0? And yet they don't give you... They don't say you're going to beat Sri Lanka? They don't say you're going to beat Sri Lanka, but yet when you come over with the Ashes, all your pundits say you're going to win 5-0. Are we serious? That's a 4. That'll do me. That will do me. How about it? That should right there tell you how much to not give a shit about what your pundits say. If they say that you're going to come to Australia and win 5-0 in the Ashes, but yet they won't tip you against Sri Lanka in a T20 game, that's what'll do me. There's no way. There's no way I believe that. I'm not necessarily saying you're lying, but there's no way that their integrity is in the right place. That would be the dumbest thing I've heard. That would be the dumbest thing to know that English pundits didn't give England a chance in this T20 game against Sri Lanka, but yet they tipped England to win 5-0 in Australia after losing 10 years straight in the Ashes, or not having the Ashes for 10 years straight. 83 off of 54 here. Are they basing it off the Ashes loss? Different formats. No, what I'm saying is that the pundits are still the same. It's not like the pundits change from format to format, right? So the pundits are still the same. The same pundits are predicting Australia to lose 5-0 against England in Australia. The same ones who are predicting that England have no chance against Sri Lanka in a T20 World Cup game. Jonathan Agnes says, Jonathan Agnes' column and a few others, not just Sri Lanka winning the tournament. Well, I don't think England win the tournament. I don't think they win the tournament. England's Aussie tour was just one big pub crawl. Yeah. Screw Jonathan, don't listen to him. Well, England, I don't think, can win this tournament. But they're in it still, so, you know, all power to them. Next bolt. And that's going to be a single, maybe 2. Probably 2 here. Yeah, they'll get 2 out of that. We just beat Sri Lanka 3-0. Exactly right, Kraken. So how on earth would no pundit be telling you? Like, how on earth would you have a pundit who is worth anything telling you that you couldn't beat Sri Lanka in this game? You just beat them 3-0 at this stadium 2 weeks ago. I mean, it's fair for them to back themselves in at home Ashes, forget about abroad. 5-0, no. That's a good shot, but it'll be just a single. There's a difference between backing yourselves in and backing a 5-0. Like, even 5-0 in England is stupid, but 5-0 in Australia? You know, and that's... Like, we're not really talking about Ashes here, but we're just saying the comparison between the two is wild. The Windies beat South Africa before this a couple of weeks ago. The Windies beat South Africa before a couple of weeks ago? What? What are you saying? That's going to be a double. Yeah. What are Australia more likely to win in 2027? BGT in India or Ashes in England? I fancy us to do both, but like at the end of the day, if I was going to say more likely, it would be BGT in India on the basis that their test team's not that great, but they'll play up to us. It'll be difficult. I'll say BGT in India, but I do honestly believe that we can get both. I do honestly believe we'll win both. That'll be a single. Maybe not even win both, but like I don't think we'll lose. Gary says, guys, not this game I'm referring to, it's winning the tournament. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Writing you off for the tournament, I would agree with. I wouldn't agree with writing anybody off, right? but I would agree with doubting England to win this tournament by a long stretch. But this, thank you for clarifying it wasn't this game, because that would have been so stupid. And the pundits that were saying that wouldn't have been anything worth listening to. Luke says, how many runs did England have going into the 12th over? Oh, they would have been well above this, man. Well, not well above this, but they would have been above this for sure. It's not like actually a crazy gap in runs, man. Like, the runs aren't the issue. 78 from 49 is not a crazy gap at all. That's very doable. It's just the 6 wickets. You just, like, if they lose another wicket, they're done. But Shanaka's at least doing well, and he's knocked his own wicket over. There's no point. When they start to actually have a crack at Sri Lanka, they get out straight away. So there's another wicket, 69 for 7. 69 for 7. I think we beat India, and England could end in another draw series, but we have the potential to win both. But we do have fragile batting, but so do England and India. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so lazy, bro. That's so lazy. Lazy batting there. That the bat just slips over the top of the stumps, and Jamie Overton gets such an undeserved wicket. 69 for 7. What a shit show, man. What a shit show this has been. It's just lazy, just there. That was just lazy batting. Just lazy batting, man. Well, don't forget, guys, we do have India vs South Africa that starts up in an hour. May as well scroll that scorecard down. The top order scores look terrible. They absolutely are. We will scroll. That top order looks horrific. Wowee. There we go. There we go. All right, that's sorted. Question for Smithster. How much does Connolly make on this pitch? Connolly would have already been out. Connolly would have already been out. I would, you know what, if I was the coach, I'd say, look, we forfeit Connolly is a better. We forfeit Connolly is a better. It's very difficult to explain the dismissals. It's been just poor batting here from Sri Lanka. It's not been amazing bowling from England. It's been awful batting from Sri Lanka. It's been just outstandingly bad. It's been astounding from Sri Lanka's perspective. How much does green make? Anything over $2.49 is too much. Anything over $2.49 is just simply too much. The commentary's saying it now. England were about 20-30 short. Connolly's an all-rounder, so you can't just pick apart one aspect of his game. Shut up, man. Shut up, man. Yeah, all-rounder Muppet in this tournament. Next bolt. That's up in the air, and that is going to be... Ooh, could have been out, but it will be a single. 76 from 46. He's such a good bowler, mate. Don't think the dunce was needed, but with that being said... Next bolt will be a single. Shanaka has to be the hero, you. Green is worth as much as a chai in Delhi. How good is a chai in Delhi? I do actually miss India a little bit. I do actually miss certain aspects of it. Especially a nice lal mas. Oh, get me a lal mas. That's what. Get me a lal mas. Lal mas. Get me a lal mas. Lal mas. Would you go to Pakistan? I would never say no to it, man. I'm not going to be disrespectful. I wouldn't say no to it, but it's not in my near-term future. But I would never say no to going anywhere, really, besides maybe like a Haiti. Connolly's an all-rounder when it comes to disappointing in all aspects of the game. That's pretty spot on there, Kraken. Next bolt. Oh, it's not a bad bolt. Dot ball. Required run rate is now at 10.09. Do you miss Shatij? Oh boy, how is it to miss Satish when he's here? He's here every day. No, I have not been to Bangladesh before. I was maybe going to go to Bangladesh last year, but it's just a logistical nightmare. It's very difficult, Bangladesh. It's very difficult to travel as a tourist, and it was my first year traveling, and I was just like, no, no, I'm not going to do that. First year, like traveling solo on a long-term basis. Things won't get better. Yeah, but I do love the food, like Indian food and even Pakistani food. I'm sure it's great. Indian food is amazing. You do get a bit tired of it though, that you can't really. You can still get Western food, but I got sick from Western food. Where have you felt the language barrier the most? Language barrier the most would probably be Vietnam. Yeah, Vietnam for sure. India, there was still a lot of people who spoke English. And even if they didn't speak English, there was still at least a decent portion that, were. There was still like a decent portion of people that could still speak at least somewhat. But Vietnam, obviously, people don't really speak a great deal of English here for the most part. So that's going to go for a single, and it's going to be 74-7. Do Pakistanis and Indians fight about food, and who claims what food? Well, what would you think is the argument between the two? What would you think they're fighting? Yeah, I use Google Translate. I just use the translating app, yeah. But no, I would say most people there is still a large portion of people who do, especially in Ho Chi Minh. If you go outside of Ho Chi Minh, you'll probably find it a lot more difficult, like more rural and whatnot. But if you're in the main touristy areas, then obviously you're going to find more people speaking English. That's going to be a dot ball. You can claim food geographically, but it was the same country to begin with. Yeah, yeah, true. Well, is Pakistan biryani? I think Pakistan is biryani, and then obviously you got your lal mas and your butter chicken and whatnot from India. It's right, says like when biryani was originated and what type of spices and mixtures, like some Pakistanis claim they made that food and India claim that it comes from there. I feel like Pakistan, I would probably lean with there. I don't know. I'm not getting involved in the argument, but I feel like maybe Pakistan is biryani. But most of the food that anybody really eats overall is from India when it comes to that geographical region of the world. Even though Serpent is right and they were all one country at one point. 74-7. They need 73 runs from 39 balls. But they've only got 3 wickets in hand, and that is going to be another dot ball here. 45 minutes until India versus South Africa. 45 minutes. If you are new here, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new. Thailand was pretty good. Malaysia, everyone spoke English. Singapore, everyone spoke English. It's going to be interesting when I travel to... I feel like Sri Lanka, a lot of them will actually speak more English than you think. I think South America is probably the worst for it, but... Imagine how insufferable that fan base would have been. What are you talking about? Oh, if India and India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh all stay together, if those countries stay together, yeah, that fan base would be wild. Yeah, Shanaka has to stay on strike here, man. He has to stay on strike, and he just needs to work. If he gets out, he gets out. But at this point, doesn't matter. You just need to work. You just need to whack a mundo right now. Overton, final ball of the over. And that is a big swing from Shanaka, and that is a 6. He has to stay here. He has to stay here. Yeah, that one is a spoiler. So we're going to have to time me out for 5 minutes there. Jay's going to have to time me out. But I didn't know that's what you're referring to. But because you said it, I don't know if that was a spoiler. Now I know that was an early comment. So you will have to get timed out for 5 minutes. You kind of snitched on yourself there. Because you could have easily just been saying that in general. as a spoiler by any measure. Well, not necessarily. Like, if he hadn't said that last part, I could have thought that he was just saying Sri Lanka needs to be on strike right now. Time for a drink. I'm going to get my coconut coffee, you guys. 6 overs to go. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. I'll be back in literally like 10 seconds. Just going to get my coconut coffee. This says, no, I was here to rat him out even if he didn't speak up. Yeah, well, good. Good. Well, Paul made the worst mistake of his life. Paul was Paul made the worst mistake of his life by ruining one of the biggest moments of the World Cup for a lot of people in this chat, and he got himself timed up for 24 hours, and he hasn't come back since. So that's what happens. We do have snitches on this channel. They don't get snitches here. They don't get stitches here. They get commended for their bravery, for their courage. So, alright, we're into the 15 and 7 overs. 66 from 36 is needed, but they're down to their last 3 wickets. Will they even get to 100 in Sri Lanka? Sri Lanka needs to be on strike. They will get a single, so Sri Lanka will come on strike. He just has to go for an absolute smash and grab right now. Smash and grab. Yeah, Smith's has been slapped so much in this chat that now he's just waiting for someone to mess up so he can make sure that they get their turn. Next bowl. Oh, that is out. That is out from Sri Lanka. And now it's 82 for 8. There is only 2 wickets to go, and that's definitely the game now, lads. That is definitely the game now. Sri Lanka have had an absolute nightmare today. An absolute nightmare. Dude, listen to the crowd right now. Not a single person you can hear. Jagger says, how's the chase, Shatij? About as good as he... Okay, well, we don't need that part. We don't need that last part. But the chase isn't looking good for Sri Lanka as we speak. The chase isn't looking good. Yeah, we didn't need the last part, Jacko. Come on, man. So 82 for 8. 14.2 overs down. And now it's just about to see if they can get to 90. Game over. It was already game over well and truly before. No, I know, Gary, but I had to tell Shatij before not to go down the political path of, you know, the historical England and versus India in regards to the colonisation, all that type of stuff. So if I'm going to keep him in line in regards to that stuff, then I've got to say the same thing to Jacko and say, we don't need that. We don't need that. With that being said, though, they're both, you guys are all Muppets. Australia's the greatest of all time. How long until the next match? Next match starts in about 45 minutes. Well, the next match starts in an hour's time, but we'll start up at 15:15. Mahesh Theekshana, he'll come in. Next bowl, and it will be a dot ball. What a nightmare. Like, it was a shot that he could take. He just didn't get the power on it, and Will Jacks was able to catch it on the boundary and throw it back in. That's going to be put through for good fielding. Jacob Bethel. That will be 2 runs. He does extremely well to stop that from going for the boundary. It's funny because 63 from 32 is still not unattainable. It's just the 2 wickets left. Just the 2 wickets left. And that'll be a dot ball. Please be a good game, South Africa versus India. Please be a good game. I'm actually going to ask ChatGPT, is biryani Pakistani or Indian? Oh, that's going to be nicked in behind for probably a 2 here. Joffre gets there to stop it from going for a 4. I'm going to ChatGPT this. Is biryani an Indian or Pakistani originated dish? It's Persian, Kraken says. Biryani, Indian or Pakistani origin? Short answer, biryani predates both modern India and Pakistan. It does. It trace back to the Persian-influenced Mughal kitchens of the Indian subcontinent. So it's not originally Indian or Pakistani in the modern national sense. The word biryani comes from the Persian word biryan, fried before cooking. It was popularized in the royal kitchens of the Mughal Empire. I love Mughal food, man. When I was in Agra, there was so much Mughal food there. It was so good. The Mughals brought Persian cooking techniques to the Indian subcontinent. Over centuries, it evolved locally across regions. At that time, present-day India and Pakistan were part of the same region, British India, before partition in 1947. Yeah, well, there you go. Ladies, next week it begins. Me versus you. Say them tissues for a Mighty Sharks masterclass. Sharks shit. Jacko says 12 degrees, no rain in Highcliffe. We're flying. Yeah, unbelievable stuff. Trojan says mutton biryani, originally Indian. It's mentioned in ancient Indian scriptures. Chicken biryani is Mughal origin. I don't know, man. I'm just Googling this right now. All I'm saying is that it says that it's originally Persian. That's so who can claim it? It's felt across the entire subcontinent. So, like, you can claim it as a subcontinent, is what I would say. I wouldn't say that you can claim, because the thing is that Trojan Horse, what you're saying is that it was in ancient Indian scriptures, but what this is saying is that it's the subcontinent, right? Which means that you can all lay claim to it because it wasn't modern day India. It was overall everyone. That's a boundary here in that area. As devout Christian, are you aware of the proliferation of different flavoured hot cross buns lately? Aware of the proliferation of different flavoured hot cross buns lately? That's all. That's all. Just, man, Easter isn't. People have forgotten what Easter's actually about, mate. That's all I'll say. Not about hot cross buns. Get a bit of stadium, you can't. You're exactly right. I'll be a single. Better stadium. Well, it's better than Blissy saying that Shark Park is the draw card of the NRL. 92 for 8 through 15.4. And that is going to be knocked for a single. No, they might get a run out. I think he's safe. I think they'll get 2 there. People have forgotten what Easter represents, and they've also forgotten what Christmas represents. Happy holidays. You know, it's funny. They say you can't say Merry Christmas anymore. You can only say Happy Holidays. Hey, champion, holiday, if you go back to the origination of that word, holy day. Thank you. Spencer says, there's at least a dozen hot cross bun flavours when I went to Woolies today. Yeah, look, again, couldn't really care less about that kind of stuff, man, because that's all just mainstream shit. Like, at the end of the day, I know what Easter represents. I know what I'm celebrating. I'm not caring about chocolate eggs and an Easter bunny, and I'm not caring about the proliferation of. Oh, he's bowled him. He's bowled him. I'm not having a crack at you, Smith, so I'm just telling you my thoughts on it. I couldn't care less about any of that. I know what I'm celebrating. Don't ask Smith what his top 3 in our GOAT list is. He's going to go to ChatGPT. 1 wicket to go here for England. Can Sri Lanka get 6 runs, or will England get all 10 beforehand? Get more for the Energizer, buddy. Exactly right. How good is the Energizer, buddy? They might not make 100. I hope you're watching, Australian cricket team. I hope you're watching right now. I never really liked hot cross buns, even as a kid. I wasn't even a fan. I was never really a fan. It wasn't my thing. And I wasn't even a massive fan of chocolate growing up. But I did love an Easter egg hunt. That was awesome. 4 overs to go. ChatGPT predates Mughals in the South. Well, I just read out, so it's not like you can call me a liar for reading out what I just read. I just typed it in. I didn't make anything of what I just set up. I just typed in what and I read out what I read. But again, ChatGPT, it predates Mughals in the South. That's great, Trojan. You're not understanding the point here. It's not modern India. You're talking modern India. So it's ancient Indian scriptures, but ancient would be subcontinent. So subcontinent will then be India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, all this, right? It's not modern day India. So you can't use ancient Indian scriptures as modern day India. You can use ancient Indian scriptures as the overall subcontinent, which was all one country at one point. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not modern day India. So maybe you could say it's from a location geographically where it is now in modern day India, but at the end of the day, it was all one at the same time, from when you're talking about. So that's a dot bull. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. I don't have the knowledge to disagree with you here, but this is fact what I'm saying, that modern day India, only came, was it after 1940 something? Next bowl here from Rashid. And he's bowled him, and that's done, and England will win. So modern day India, when did that 1947 is modern day India. But there we go. Sri Lanka will lose. They will not get 100. England win by 51 runs, and that's going to put them a long way. Well, the net run rate doesn't really matter too much with the match abandoned last night. But England will go to the top of the group after the Sri Lanka win. Sri Lanka will be last, and New Zealand and Pakistan are both tied on 1 point as we currently speak. The next game for England, so let's go and have a look at the draw for these guys. 150 is on, bringing out the 12th batter. So England's next game, they will be taking on Pakistan on Tuesday, and then Sri Lanka's next game, obviously New Zealand on Wednesday, and then England play New Zealand on Friday. With the final Super 8 games happening on Sunday next week. Sunday's a big day for us, man. We've got 4 streams, 2 NRL regular season games for Vegas into Zimbabwe, South Africa, and India, West Indies. But that will really heavily depend as well on how they are tracking. But guys, I'm going to jump off for about 30 minutes until we get underway for the India versus South Africa game, which will be an absolutely massive one. I hope you have enjoyed. I appreciate you for tuning in. Obviously, hit that like button, subscribe if you are new around here, and we'll see you in about 30 minutes' time for the final game of the day. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.